Maui Wowie. Oh my.
Boom! Greetings and salutations, beautiful people. Welcome to the Midday Show. That right there is your boy Joey Options. Going back to Honolulu just to get that Maui Wowie, that Maui Wowie. All right, where's everybody at? Good morning to everybody. Shout out to Gorev. All right, where is everybody? Let's go. Let's go. Ichiro. Shout out to Gary F. and Safe. Bavin, the OG. Go Bills. Yummy Thai Foods in the house. Shout out to Brown Lightning and Donzoli. Mr. Easy Street. Travman. 420. Budmaster. Random Oddities and Ryan joining us as well as Hizzy. Darth Trader. Who else, man? Sir Poopy Paperhands and Abd Barrow. Christopher Ocean, Jameson, Jag, Dangerous, Sean H, and Drop System. Shout out to Chuck of All Trades and Grant Ratcliffe. We got Wyatt, we got Neros, Will Ramos, and Britt Brendan. Shout out to Dinkelberg, the OG, Mike P. D. Righto. The lights are out again. Yes. Aziz, Feno, Storm Chaser. This is exactly what Joseph wanted because he's hurting. Jai Singh, we got Rivian Millionaire, and Brandon Townsend. Shout out to Fazil. Trader 604. Shout out to Srush and Cody VRs. Sorry, probably butchered that, man. Byron Hall, David Hofield, Zan Chile. We got BB Crazy and Joe B. Shout out to Marco Hernandez and Don Mego. I love that one. Mike the Stock Impaler. That one always makes me chuckle a little bit. Shout out to Just Living. Good morning, Joseph.
Joe, you was up early today, says Just Living.
He's hurting, man.
What does that mean? No,
shout out to
brother,
Nate.
wait. Yeah, anyways, aside from that, man, I'm going to be a little bit subdued this morning, but that's all right. We'll figure some things out. Let's get right into what we were trading bright and early this morning. And that is going to be AMD. We get that short to the downside. I mean, right off the gate, man, you get $3 like that. Boom. Get stopped out, break even. Take another attempt, another couple bucks right there. Stopped out, break even. Attempt number 3 for that move back into VWAP is a no-go. So you go 2 for 3 on that one. Won't complain whatsoever. As soon as I seen that volume step in over here, guys, I'm like, let's get out of here because the market is, Obi was talking about just a steady grind higher, and this is essentially what we're looking at today. All these pullbacks are micro, right? Like you get a couple minutes and then sure enough, they're just bought back up aggressively. So be cautious before you stand in front of this stuff, guys. If the market is going to fade, I think it'll be a little bit later in the afternoon. I could be totally wrong, and I hope that I am. What's up, Jody? But other than that, guys, let's rock and roll.
Yo, let's rock and roll. Absolutely, Joey. Happy Friday to everybody, guys. I'm in a good mood, man, so we're going to have a good time today. So let's do this. PGEN, top left of your screen. Looks awfully strong, guys. So strong, it hasn't even glanced at the 10 moving average. It hasn't even looked its way. Looking to reclaim $5, a little above $5, a little bit below. It's got higher highs and higher lows. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but this one certainly is on watch for me, as is CYPH. Look at the strength on this one. Good bull flag to start the morning at around 8 o'clock. We give back about 2/3 of the move, but that was as bad as it was going to get for CYPH on the day because it has been steady, higher highs and higher lows for the most part. And I want you to underline that. For the most part, it is holding up at the 10 EMA. It does breach it on a wick basis. So if you're going to place your stops below the 10 EMA, you may find yourself getting stopped out a little early. So be on the lookout for that. TOI, another very directional, very strong, 32% under its wings right now. Alas, it's trying to deal with that $4 level, a little above 4, working its way into the 10 EMA on the 5. This one certainly is of interest to me, as is CMBM. This one, look, remember how we talk about, the different characteristics of the small gap capper. Some are more steady state, higher highs, higher lows. Some are a little more erratic. When they make area highs, they tend to reverse back into key areas of technical support. I would submit to you, this is one of those ones right here where we make new day's highs, and the second we make a new day high, we are met with aggressive selling back into a key area of technical support. I'm talking, of course, about CMBM. This is very interesting to me as well. BYND, everybody knows about BYND, of course. It's working into the volume weighted average price at around $1.11. This could be a buy in and around here, but there does look like there was and is a buyer at $1.12, and the shorts haven't been able to breach that level quite yet, so VWAP at 111 may not come in. Continuing on, DFLI, sub $1, but very strong. Be careful, though, because we are still below yesterday's high at around 91 pennies or 90 pennies, excuse me, 88 pennies, the high of the day today. So that's a lower high, and that should be, a sign for you to look at. FIGR, another very directional one. Just touching the 10 EMA on the 5 for the first time on the day. A bit more expensive, though, is FIGR, trading around 41.50. You need to account for that price in your risk management. And last but certainly not least, well, maybe this one's least because it's losing VWAP, ENGS up 21 1/3. Volume weighted average price was overlapping with 2, and I typically like that. You get, one support level being the whole, the psychological area of support at the whole dollar, and then the volume weighted average price also overlapping with that whole dollar. Alas, it doesn't really matter to this one. It seems to be finding support, at least for the moment, at the 10 EMA on the 5. So we're going to be looking at all 8 of these. And as I always say, if there are other small cap gappers I've neglected to mention or don't have eyes on, please tag myself or Joseph, let us know, and we'll add them to the list and trade them if appropriate. Joey.
Absolutely, man. Let's take a look at the top performing sectors of the day. We're going to start that off with the energy sector being green, guys, up 1%. Utilities up 0.5%, and then we got the technology, the tech sector up about 0.4%. Now, as for the communications, guys, down 0.6. Materials closer to 0.75, and the financials down roughly 0.9% on today's session. Let's take a look at the over major averages here, guys. So here it is. The Qs, 1.6% on the day, and then IWM, SPY, and the Dow Jones just holding on by a thread there, guys. And you can see some of what we got going on in the heat map. As for some of the stocks, biggest volume as well, too. We have, CYPH. Sharif, are you trading that one?
I'm looking right at it, baby.
CYPH putting in a lot of volume apparently today. So some good stuff going on over there. And then we have Open Door, NVDA, Tesla, IREN, and then AVXL.
Get it,
Bobby
Joey.
Axelrod right there. But other than that, guys, this is what I'm talking about earlier in the day, and what Obi was bringing up. You get these moves to the downside, immediately bought back up straight away, right away. Exactly, man. So shout out to a grinding session. I think that's going to be the case. So if you can get in around some support level lows, I like your chances for the continuing to climb higher. The market will turn around. If it does, it will display its signals, and we'll keep our eyes out on them out for them.
Yes, sir. All right, we're involved. Let's go. CMBM. We took the pullback into the 10 EMA. Where do we get? We got 47s, just wet the beak at 54s, waiting at 59s. Let's post. Let's post ahead of 60s. We're going to wait at 63. Looking there, it goes up into 58. Looking for continuation in 59. It has to cross for me to get printed. It is a 2-penny spread, so it's going to have to cross on both the bid and the ask, of course. Still waiting for the print there at 59. Negligent. Come on, give me the print, bro. All right, so let's post a little bit higher, and then you know where we're going to wait. Of course, we're going to be waiting in that 69-penny area. So keeping an eye on there. PGEN just got involved in this one as well at 7s, punching in at highs. Automatically, I'm going to have areas where I'm looking to dip trade if I'm punching in at highs. So let's go ahead and wait at 15s. We're going to wait 14s there. Let's see what we get. There we go, back to CMBM. We just took the breakout, or the dip trade, at the 10 EMA. 3 prints so far, waiting at 63 next, then 69. Keep in mind, though, on CMBM, we have lower highs. Okay, so candle high, 1035. That's a 371 print. Lower high at 11. That's a 369 print. So just because we have higher lows doesn't necessarily mean that's going to translate into higher highs. Be on the lookout here as this one does. Look, it feels like it might be flat top breakish through 370, but you never really know. Okay, CYPH, that's the one that Joey Options was calling out there. Coming back in now. I'd like to buy something here off 3 to 2 mid-90s. Let's go ahead and wait. I'm going to wait at 303 for a dip. There we go. We're going to post at 303, and then we're going to post as well in the mid-90s, because that's where the 10 EMA on the 5 is. So we're going to go ahead and front run that and wait to see if we can get something in and around that level. So we're involved in 2 trades right now, trying to get into a third. Let's see if the strength on this one on CYPH allows me to get some prints, or whether I'm going to have to wait a little bit lower, or get in a little bit higher. Here comes my order. There we go. We get printed where? At 3s. Good. Now waiting for a move either back down into the mid-90s or back up to test 3. 20. That is the high of the day. Since we got threes, let's go ahead and post just a little bit below 10, and then I'm going to wait a little bit above 10. So that's what we're looking at now, Joey Options. We've got three trades going on. What do you got?
All right, man. I'm just looking across the board at a couple of names here, guys, to see if we can get involved in some. We got Meta bouncing off of that 595 level, now trading up to 608. We like that. We'll take that one there for sure. But other than that, guys, considering if you weren't involved with the longs, I personally don't like chasing all the way up here. So what we got to do is be patient, wait for some key support levels to come into play and or resistance, and look for some trades based off of that. So with that being said, let's take a look at some of the top volume names, even though we did go over a couple right there. Shout out to, I'm just going to, thinking out loud here, shout out to options call writing as well, too. I have to give a little credit to that. Otherwise, it would be even more disastrous than what we're currently sitting on. But I also wanted to just bring up, man, Sharif and I were talking about this earlier, and I was thinking about it a long time. Listen, I haven't been doing this the longest, but what I have observed over, come January, my 5th year, is that I get it. We're all panicking. Everybody's like, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. But at the end of the day, look what the Nasdaq has done over time.
Show them the monthly.
Look what the SPY has done over time.
Show them the monthly, bro.
I think these are great buying opportunities. Yeah. I think Brando said it this morning as well, too. He's like, oh, here's the dip that everybody was longing for quite some time.
Exactly.
So don't panic. Everybody, woosah, 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 calm heads prevail, and then look to get involved. You don't have to go all in at once. We don't advise that whatsoever, but slowly start to allocate just in case you do drop another couple percentage points. But other than that, guys, we know the market was slightly frothy. You got to price a little bit of that out. There's nothing wrong with that, but just be patient, and sure enough, we will grind too. It's not a matter of if, it's just when. All right, so there goes APLD climbing higher. Sharif, I don't know if you got anything cooking up over there. Yeah, AMD is going. What do you got?
CMBM, man, there we go. We get the 69 print. Here's 71. We're now waiting at 77s. What do we got on CMB? We got 47s. Waiting at 77 now. Look, this is a new high a day, so I was worried about the lower high situation. That has now changed on a wick basis, not a closing basis, mind you, right? We care more about closing prints than wicks, at least I do. So let's see exactly what we get here. We're still steady state, higher highs, higher lows now. The 10 EMA on the 5 is at 350. I've got 47s. That means I've got a decision to make. Do I add more into the 10 EMA if it does drop down there, or is that my stop? That's something that I always struggle with. Do I add or get out on dips? So we'll be making decisions as we watch the price action develop a little bit more. So that's CMBM. Let's go into CYPH. We finally get the print, a first print there on CYPH. We got 3s. We just got 8s. We didn't get the dip trade, sadly, into the mid-90s. Now I'm waiting at, is that 14s? I was about to say, am I waiting at 13s? I don't want to wait at 13s. Now we're going to wait at 20s as well. So looking for continuation on that one. How about PGEN? It's topping out, man. Somebody's selling here at 508, and the volume is starting to drop off. Where's the volume gone on PGEN? What do we got on PGN? We got 7s. So we're out of the money on this by a penny. It's showing me 6s with the high day 8. So, you know, I basically punched in right at the high, hence why there's 2 cyan dip trades there, 2 lines. Those are pre-planned dip trades. So continuing to watch that. I'm watching CMBM though, coming a little bit down here. Here comes that. Oh, that's not a good looking candle at all. That's not a good looking candle at all. That's an inverse hammer candle, and it's coming right into the 10 EMA. Let's watch here. So this is my decision now. Do I add into the 10 EMA? I've got a dip trade here at 40s, but that's for VWAP, so I don't need to take that off. I'm going to add here, okay? Let's give this a try. Let's add it to the 10 EMA, despite the fact that I don't like that topping tail candle that ended up being an inverse hammer candle. But there it goes, right back up. Let's post at 55. Add it at 49, posting at 55, posting at 60. Let's see if we can get that quick price spike up. So those are the ones I'm looking at right now. And TOI, by the way, just looks like it made a bottom at 4. Double bottom at, in fact, at 4, and then this candle here, if it makes a new high, which it looks like it might, I think it makes a new high at 11s. That could be a continuation possibly into 4 and a 5th, Joey. So we're going to keep an eye out on TOI despite the fact that we haven't executed anything on it. Quickly back to CYPH. It looks like it is moving up, and it is close to printing me for the second print here. We're waiting at 14s. It's showing me 12s. So looking for continuation on this one as well. There is a big seller over here at 12 as I see. You know, I don't know if I can take him out. There's 13, so we took him out. There's 14. There's 15. Let's go CYPH. High days 20. We're posted at 20. That means we need to post a little bit higher, so we're going to wait at 25 as well. Joe, what's going on?
All right, guys. Trader TV Academy is coming soon. We have been working relentlessly to bring you this much requested platform, and it's soon ready. We'll be covering stuff we can't always fit into the live stream. Mindset, psychology, risk management. Whether you're new or experienced, there's something valuable in it for you. Stay tuned for more info. Make sure you are subscribed and follow us on socials so you won't miss it when we launch, guys. So don't miss it when they launch. That's something that you don't want to. So anyways, guys, aside from that, let's take a look at some of the other names that we're going to scroll through. INTC, what are you up to? Nice, steady grind higher, man. Tesla still grinding as well, too. Keep an eye out on that. Bitcoin, not a horrible look, but you can see it's just not participating in the rally to the top side, which is unfortunate. But it is what it is. Adair, what do you got?
Keep an eye here in SBUX. Now, this isn't like breaking news on the stock. We know this one was already weak here, but we had this nice push down just recently as well. I do want to let you guys know I'm seeing this circulate on social media, though this initial post was shared last night. Mayoral-elect of New York City, Zohran Mamdani, actually calling for a boycott of Starbucks during this strike, saying or echoing the union's call here for no contract, no coffee. And he said he's not going to buy from the chain during the strike. He urges others to do the same. So again, we had some commentary last night from Mayor-elect of NYC saying don't buy from Starbucks. SBUX has been weak all day, and I'm just seeing this recirculate now, which is why I wanted to mention it now. Back to you.
All right, beautiful stuff. I got one thing here before I send it over to you guys. Look at that grind higher on AMD Advanced Money Duplicator on today's session, guys. We're almost up 1%. But let's go QBTS. Wow is right, brother. As we get a little bit of a pop, looking for this break of this prior resistance zone. So we're adding into this bull flag here, guys. Let's see if we can get that rocking and rolling.
Rocking and rolling, bop-a-ram, bop-bop. Well, bro, I'm feeling good today. Let's go, baby. Let's go. PGEN, we're going at highs. Let's go. There goes CYPH into 25s. Boom. What do we got on that, Joey? We got threes. We just took out 25s. Now looking for 33s. Above that third of a dollar. Here is 28s. We're working in the 30s. We're up 85, 86%. Seller at 28. Hidden seller at 28. Be careful here. And they're re-upping their position. Look at the churn at 28. That's a thick trade. There it goes in the 30s. We run for your life, bro. They're coming for you. There is the print at 33s, Joey. We taking this one up. CYPH, all gas, no brakes. We didn't even get that dip trade, dude, in the mid-90s. That sucks. How's my PGEN trade doing? Still waiting for a print at 14s. Haven't gotten a print quite yet on that bad boy. So definitely need to keep an eye on that. But CYPH, we got to put some more orders over here because we're running out of shareage. So let's go ahead and wait at 39s next. Then we're going to wait at 45s. There's 36. This is breaking out now, guys. CYPH, very strong. Be on the lookout there. CMBM, though, just got me filled at the volume-weighted average price. I have to be careful. This is dropping aggressively over here, so we're going to flatten out on that one. CMBM, the bottom dropping off. We got a bunch of prints, but we did add, so we will give back some there. That sucks, but it's okay. We'll look to do a little bit better if it does set up a bit of a better, in a bit of a better way. What I mean by that is it has to get above 340 and then print a new 5-minute candle will make a new high. So keeping my eye on that one. So CMBM, CYPH, and PGEN here, Joey. Just keeping an eye on all these bad boys.
All right, then. All right. So anyways, there it goes. All right. So there it is. BTC creeping lower, my man. 60. All right, Peter. Every day you message me that, my friend. Just short it, please. And then we'll be on the same team. Anyways, aside from that, guys, let's see if we can get this QBTS trade to start working for us. Looking for that break of that resistance. Right now, we're experiencing a slight pullback, but that's okay. As soon as this trend, we'll zoom in a little bit here so we can see it a little bit more clearly now. The rain is on. So if it continues to slide here a little bit, maybe we'll just hop out. We got that volume supporting the move that we're looking for. Genuine move, right? Strong candle, strong amounts of volume. So I like our chances on that, considering the market can't stop, won't stop. So yeah, other than that, guys, that's all I'm sitting in right now. I wouldn't be surprised now that I'm going long that it wants to sell a little bit. So patience, get a better entry, and then I'm going to take that continuation to the top side. I'm going to run through the scanner one more time to see if we see anything else that we like in particular. HYG, what are you up to? AMD, we know what that's been up to. How has the IWM been acting? Not too bad of a look there, ladies and gentlemen. Now we got this finally working. Ooh, this is dangerous. Watch out for this to close like that. You might be able to get a nice little pop into some prior resistance. That's 4 or 5 points right there. Wow. We're going to be taking that all day. How are the SPY and the Q's daily prints going? We like that even more. Just steady holding up. This is insane stuff, guys. And this is what I'm talking about, writing those condors. You're just staying within this range, 650 to 690 for a couple of weeks. That's free money right there. You don't even have to be directionally biased, my friend Sharif. You just need to stay within that range. Beauty of that trading system. Now, as for Bitmine immersion, yeah, we'll stop right there. So there it is, guys, and then IONQ, a nice little pop in some of these quantum names as well, too.
There goes PGEN up into 19s, guys. We are waiting at 20s. That's not the right move. I don't want to wait at the 1 penny area, so we're going to wet the beak there. Now we're going to wait a little bit higher. Shout out to Jordan at 23, and then we're going to wait in the high 20s. We're going to wait at 28s there, looking for continuation on that one. So PGEN being good to me here. CMB, no good. No good at all. Stopped out again. This one's too wicky for me, so I'm going to have to let this one set up a little bit differently, or I'm going to have to be a bit more strategic in my stop placement on that one. We're going to keep my eye on that. But CYPH continuing to hang out near highs at the third of a dollar, looking for continuation into 39. Then I've got some posted at 40. Here comes 34. 34 showing up, 35 showing up now, 37 high a day. So we're very close now to breaching highs. There's 38. That's a new high a day. Seller at 38 saw 39 there momentarily. It flashed on the time and sales. There's 39, and there is the print again, Joey, into the high on CYPH. Let's go ahead and set up a little bit more on this one. We want to get something above the $0.50 now. I'm going to be waiting at 55s on CYPH. Great strength on this name. But, you know, all good things must come to an end. So there it goes into 46s, all gas, no brakes. CYPH, I'm waiting at 55s, guys, a lofty area above the $0.50, which could present, obviously, a psychological area of resistance, being that whole dollar and the $0.50. The OG Bovin telling me IVVD is moving up. Shout out to the OG. I tried to put that somewhere else, Bovin, on my side chart, IVVD. Yeah, still lower highs, though, Bovin. I'm going to cover that one in a second, but CYPH is at 49s, and there's a seller of note here at 49. We haven't touched 50. There's 50 prohibitively large sellers. About 5,000 lots on one gateway, or 2 gateways there. That's what we can see. It's what we typically can't see that, you know, gets us in trouble with small caps, as most of these orders are hidden. I said hoarders. I didn't mean that. There's a new high day, 55. Joey, I was waiting at 55. How come it didn't get printed? Well, that's because it didn't cross, okay? So that's the cost of doing business. Down into 43s we go as we make another new high of day. CYPH now up 94 1/3%. Very, very strong, so keeping my eye out there. You heard that too, Mike? My bad. Yeah. Well, you're talking a lot, man. You know, the words just... They come out a little bit there.
Come out, man.
You
may say a thing or two that you don't necessarily mean to. Let's go.
Get it, Ozan. What do you got there, Joey?
Let's go, QBTS. Woo-hoo-hoo. Yeah. Yeah, this is what we want to see, baby. Let's go as it's starting to break through some of those resistance zones. We'll wait for a little bit more of a high there. We're up 5% on the session, so that's phenomenal. But I was just talking about the bull flag and going with the flow. Still a month to go. Yeah. No, you're not wrong, Rainmaker. But at the end of the day, you just got to make your own decisions, too. I mean, I listened to what he had to say. I did truly think that we were going to see 200K on BTC by the end of the year. I mean, it's not over yet. It's not over until it's over, right? And same with 10K on Ethereum, but that doesn't seem to be the narrative. As of right now, things can flip on a dime. We know this, so we'll stay optimistic 110%. But let's go. We want this quantum name to continue to climb. What is IONQ up to? As some of these tech names are just on a steady grind higher. At this point, we might be rocking and rolling all day, and there might not be a fade until later on, 2 o'clock, 2:30, where you start to see a little bit of profit taking. But other than that, guys, 5% on QBTS. AMD now positive, up 1 1/5, which is, I was surprised. I was like, ooh, is the blood in the streets going to continue to flow? But that doesn't seem to be the case. We're wrapping up those wounds. We're going long. There's a little bit more excitement in the overall market. And now we're starting to chef up a little bit.
I love it. I love it. Didn't the Jays used to do this back in the day? Where's Nilla? He's gone, yeah. And then that wasn't their move for whatever reason.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, they go like that and then that. So whatever that may be.
Sure,
Shout out to Ernie Clement.
Yeah.
Guy's a hockey player.
Is he actually?
Yeah.
Well, he fits the profile.
He does. Yeah, he used to play.
I like him, bro. Brenda, are we keeping Ernie Clement or is he leaving? We're not sure.
You got to sign, man. You got to think about it. If Bieber's taking that big time discount, you got to stay. Just bring the boys back.
He exercised that 16.
Yeah. I mean, bring the boys back. Get a couple relievers in there, and then I think we can be off to the races.
Need to
we should there were so many opportunities for these guys to close it out. So I think they're going to come back absolutely rocking and rolling next year.
I hope so, dude. I hope so. Baseball, you never really know. Tommy McLeod saying he's staying. So hopefully Tommy's great.
Re-signed. All right, dang.
He is staying there. All right, guys, I'm trying to work in back to CMBM. I think I'm cruising for a bruise in here, man, because, well, it's just got multiple bottoming tail candles through VWAP, which is telling me buyers are picking this up aggressively. So what I'm waiting for is the first 5-minute candle to make a new high. I've already put a script order in there to that effect. Let's see if I can go 2 for 2 on CMBM. Right now, I am 1 for 2. So we'll see if we can figure this out a little bit. Keeping my eye there. Now I want to cover that one that Bovin was talking. Oh, you want to cover something?
Yeah. Let's rock and roll, man. There goes QBTS. We were waiting for that new high to come in. 2470s is where we take that last little bit off. We'll take it all day, man. Come on. 25s in QBTS. Going with the flow, guys.
You tell me 25s. I'm on your side already. Shout out to 25.
Shout out to 25.
IVVD. This is the one that the OG Bovin was calling out. This one was moving for whatever reason late in the day yesterday at around 6:40. When all was said and done, by around 8 o'clock, we were up nice, almost at $2. Alas, this morning at 4 a.m. we opened above $2, and since that time we've been putting up some good numbers. Now here's what I'm talking about, Bovin. I don't like this for a number of reasons. One, we have 2 lower highs and we have 2 lower lows. So fine, it could be a more prolonged bull flag, and I get all that and I like it, but there's 2 rules here that it fails. Well, not 2. 1, which is it's below the pre-market high, 311. I'm willing to make an exception for that if it can make a new area high. So what am I talking about here? Well, this is the area high, another lower high, and yet another lower high. So if we can get above 282, that 285 area, show that maybe we're breaking out of that bull flag pattern, I'm all gas on this one. So we're going to keep an eye here on IVVD. Shout out to the OG Bovin for pointing this one out. What is this one up on the day? IVVD, it's up 50%, man. Yeah, so this one, it's going to be on a lot of people's scanners. So this one will certainly be on mine, and I'm going to take the breakout as I just mentioned there. I'll take the 285 breakout on that. Also, DFLI, I brought this one to you earlier. It's a little on volume, not too bad. It's a south of $1 name. It's at 88 penny high. So if this one works in to that dollar area, you're going to encounter significant resistance, at least. Maybe not initially, but you will eventually at that dollar area. So be looking for that breakout above the dollar. Keeping my eye on all these trades. What do you got, Joey?
All right, beautiful stuff, guys. We just continuously piece some out there on QBTS for that break of that previous high. Starting to come in a little bit here, but we're not too worried about that. 24.47 all the way up to 76. We'll take that. As long as we don't come back to the break even, then we're going to be Gucci on that front. We have a little bit less than half of our position remaining. So maybe we should have took some off. But other than that, I'm going to be keeping my eyes on. I was messaging Goro. I'm like, hey, brother, watch out for what we got going on across the board. If this closes as an inverted, there might be a potential short in the near term. But we also want to look at it as if it breaks that candle high, there could be some more continuation to the top side. So just be prepared. Keep those risk measures in place. The volatility is most definitely up here, guys. So you want to widen that stop, maybe lessen the shares a little bit as well, too. But to each their own. But just as long as you're keeping those risk measures in place, you're going to be doing just fine. Now, Peter Mosbeck, I'm not shorting BTC ever because nobody knows. I'm buying at 70K. All right, Rusty Dutches as well, too. So, all right, man, if you're looking for 70K and you get that, I'm going to honestly, I will give you a gifted membership on my dime there. So, yeah, 70K on BTC because, listen,
dang,
I am kind. So, other than that, guys,
all right,
yeah, exactly. Oh, man, I might have to watch that movie this weekend.
Hey.
It's one of my favorite. I like the. Sorry, what's that?
What's up, Assassino? That's okay.
Oh,
no
okay.
problem,
The
brother.
second one where they tell the story of Xerxes, I don't know if you've seen it,
No,
probably
I
not.
didn't,
The second,
there's another 300?
yeah, it's called like Rise of the Empire.
No, I didn't know that
Rise of the
existed,
Empire or
dude.
whatever. So anyway, Xerxes, they tell the story of how he became how he was, and he travels into the desert, falls into like a hermit cave, and then he comes out in like gold, and he's just like Xerxes after that. Yeah, it's so sick. Good stuff over there. But no, in all seriousness, guys, what we got going in on the overall market, I mean, we can run through the mag. What's Microsoft been up to on the session? Wow, look at this beauty right here. Just steady to the top side. These are micro pullbacks right there. You definitely don't want to stand in front of this freight train tree.
No. All right, guys. Still continuing to watch over here. Not really doing a whole lot on any of my trades right now because they're all not at levels at which I can take profits or get into more, except PGEN. It's trying to work back above into the high of the day, 17 showing up. High of day is 19. I tried to get some more into 5. It didn't fill me, so that's my issue, but I don't even have that much taken out from my original position, so I'm okay with that. Looking for continuation into the quarter dollar. It's up 34% and has still yet to touch the 10 exponential moving average on the 5-minute chart. So I'm going to continue to watch that. It's CYPH that I'm trying to decide whether I want to get more in, because 355 high. Now we're dropping back down into the third of a dollar. In fact, we just got into the quarter of a dollar, but that wasn't my move. My move was at 15s. Why? Because that's where the 10 EMA was. Look at it rocket back up into 34, still a lower high though. So we're going to continue to watch that. Brendo sent me this. Ernie Clement is eligible for arbitration this offseason and won't be a free agent until 2029. So the Blue Jays have Clement for the next 3 seasons on his current contract setup. He's coming off a postseason in which he recorded more hits in a single playoff run than any player in Major League Baseball history. That is the kind of stuff. That is the kind of talent we need on the Blue Jays, and we need them perennially, baby. He's a hell of a player, man.
I like
Very
Ernie.
level-headed guy.
Yeah, I like Ernie, man. Especially he's a hockey guy, too. You could just tell he's a dog, man.
He's a dog.
He's a dog. Dogging. All right, guys. So this is what I was referring to earlier. You just have to be cautious of these inverted hammers with isolated prints. It is still closing as a bullish one. Still some buying pressure within these. So just be cautious. We might get that turnaround, but you want to be more patient just in case it's prolonged and takes a little bit more time than what we're expecting here. All right. So consolidate, slow curl over, upside down frown, or upside down smiley face, and what I'm going to say. So a frown, and then sure enough, we're going to turn that upside down and head back towards some more support and resistance zones. But here it is, guys. Like, we filled that gap. I was not thinking that this morning, but take note, right? So I don't know if you've observed this over time, Sharif, or if individuals have. In the pre-market, when I see the market selling aggressively, tend to look for longs. If the market is rallying just in the pre-market, look for it to fade a little bit. And if you document your own data over time, I'm sure you'll find a pattern within that, my friend.
Guys, CYPH just tried to break the $0.50 again. Here's 49s again. I'm waiting at 55s here on CYPH. We don't have much left. So, you know, this print is going to get us out of the trade. Okay, there's 50. Huge seller at 50 getting tested again. Did you guys see that orange on my time and sales? That's exuberant buying, but we need to see if this can break 50. Showing up again here on the level 2. Guys, we printed 145 million shares on CYPH, and this isn't no, you know, sub $1 stock. It's a $3.50 stock. So good volume and good liquidity on this name. Whether or not we can breach through the level, we'll have to pack our patience there. Separately, people saw I'm involved in CMBM. They're like, Sharif, bro, it's selling off. I realize that, guys, but it's above VWAP. It's putting in higher lows. My out is below area low, which is 24s. So come what may on this one. Last but not least, PGEN still dilly-dallying here. South of the fifth of the dollar, Joey. We're looking for that one to take out 20s. We're waiting at 23s. We're going to the big desk.
Dang.
It's crypto time, and I want to talk here about CRCL, or Circle Internet Group. They had a nice start to the day so far, and it is worth noting here, Baird actually giving them an upgrade today. So Baird setting a $110 price target for the stock and improving its rating from neutral to outperform because of its earnings report for Q3. So they basically cited a couple different factors, including their growth in USDC stablecoin circulation and their sequential growth here for their on Circle USDC. So that actually allows the company to retain 100% of reserve income. So of course, any quarter-over-quarter growth with that on Circle USDC is going to be a good look for CRCL. They cited a couple other growth metrics here, but the biggest thing to remember, or I think to know from this report, or error analysis anyway, is that Baird believes that Circle's valuation, which is roughly 50 times earnings for next year, is quote unquote reasonable because of its strong growth trajectory. So nice comments here from Baird for CRCL. Let's take a look at Bitcoin on that daily chart. Potentially maybe a little bit of a reversal candle forming here. It certainly did not look very rosy this morning. We are posed for our fourth straight red day. We're still down 2.5%, but we're recovering nicely off of these intraday lows or intra-session lows here for BTC of 94 halves. Right now, trading around 97,000. Let's see what we do here, though, with that key support resistance level around 99K. Take a look here at Ethereum USD, if I can spell it. Here we go. ETH looking a little bit stronger potentially than BTC here, actually holding support from last Tuesday, November 4th, around that 3,000 level. So I'll have to wait and see here. But ETH clearly respecting 3,000. Let's see what BTC does with 99K as we send you back to the Bash Brothers.
Holy schmoly.
Hold on. Guys, I haven't taken any trades on FIGR, but look at the cleanliness on this move, man. Even when it did dip in, Joey, it held the 10 EMA like a glove. Again, as I mentioned earlier, it is a bit more expensive. It's a $43.50 name now, trading at the high. So that has to account into your risk management, which of course is your position sizing as well as your stop loss placement, et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, I didn't execute on it. That's on me, but it's looking real good here. So if anybody's interested in that, I want to bring that to your attention. FIGR, it looks like a buy program, Joey.
All right, good stuff. We take a little bit more out on QBTS as this has been skyrocketing. And this is it, man. I think Obi and I are just on the same path. We were talking about this the other day, just those steady grinds. You don't want to stand in front of it. You want to start to participate. Don't hate. My poor typing skills ruined my intro. Oh, that's all right, my friend. Here, I'll give you an intro right now because I know this is what you guys want. Oh man, that's so hard, man. That gets me amped up. Playing hockey tonight as well too. So if I just listen to that 30 seconds of the intro, it gets me fired up. So there it is, guys. QBTS continuing to grind. We like this. Now up 6.25. That's absolutely phenomenal. AMD almost up 2% on the session. This is insane. Who never would have guessed that, I can tell you that for free. Now, as for NVDA as well, 2% there, guys. We'll take that. And what is Goggles been up to? Let's see. Can it beat the other two? I don't know, Sharif. No, it's still slightly negative on the day, my boy.
Who's that?
Goggles. Down 1/10% there.
Well, because it's been rocketing up lately, Joey.
It's been holding.
Going to want to take some profit.
Yeah. It's been holding strong. There's one more name that I wanted to take a look at, but it has slipped my mind. Oh my days! Here goes QBTS. Yeah, brother. Listen, I'm gonna bring you some of those candy treats that I was talking to Adam Toulouse.
English treats?
Yeah, the candy kittens. Yeah. They're vegan too, man.
They're vegan. I don't want them.
Why?
I don't want them.
But I don't know. I don't even think it really makes that big of a difference. They're honestly so good. I didn't even know.
Just play, bro.
Brother, listen. I didn't even know they were vegan until like 3 bags in.
Seriously,
I was like 3 bags in.
Ripping through them. I love it.
You have no idea. I'm like, these things are wicked. But no, in all seriousness, guys, watch out for these this selling pressure within the candles. Yeah, it's irrelevant if it's vegan or not.
3 bags in, bro. The guy's deep.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, these guys. I know what these guys. These guys are foul-minded. They're thinking something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you know, you can't control the chat.
No,
you
can't control the chat. It's untamed.
Guide them a little bit.
Untamed.
What is being said here, guys? Look, I unblock a lot of comments. Okay, but you know, keep it a little clean over here. Keep it a little clean. Let's go.
So someone said in the chat, insect protein. So Electric Passions. Have you ever seen the movie Snowpiercer? That movie's sick. So I'm not even gonna ask you.
Nah,
at
man,
the end of the day,
you see me?
Snowpiercer.
Like,
Yeah, that's
little
what they do over
there.
there. So shout out to who have seen Snowpiercer. Look at AMD go 252.
Shout out.
Yeah.
All right, guys, still doing the same stuff over here. I'm sorry, I'm not punching into anything new, but I'm quite happy with my positions. I want to get in more, obviously. Let's talk about CYPH. That one's coming down into the 10 EMA. Last time it got bought up, but this is the second time it's coming down here. Now, the 10 EMA, kind of a little bit overlapping. I want to say 10 EMA showing me 20s, but there's price action, initial resistance, now possibly support at 310. But those are the wicks. So I feel we may find support here at 3. But there's obviously a big difference between 325, where the 10 or 320, where the 10 EMA is now, and 3, where the 20 EMA and the psychological support is. So I don't know if I want to punch in quite yet. Now, what I might do is try to get the money fill in the mid-teens. That's the price between the 10 and the 20. So I think I'm going to do that. Let's throw in a dip trade over here. That this might cause me to miss the ad when I'm kind of alive to that, which is why I'm going to stay in a little bit higher. Let's go 16s. Let's see if we can get something in and around that area there. I'm just looking at some other names over here, guys. Still keeping an eye on IVVD. This is the one that Bovin brought us earlier. It's still very much trending within that range. I perceive this to be a bull flag, a more prolonged bull flag, of course, with intervening areas. Now, this breach here at 9:30 doesn't concern me at all because that's the open. And we know the open is going to be more volatile than the other times of the day. So a breach at the open doesn't end my analysis about the fact that this is what I perceive to be a bull flag. So if we get above, I said 285, 284, I'm going long on IVVD. This one I'm still quite interested in, but haven't executed yet on it. That's it, Joey. We're going to continue to hold these positions. Here comes CYPH into 20s. I've got a dip trade at 16s, pardon me. It's showing me 19s. There's 18s now, so this one is dropping down, and that's what I kind of want there. We got 3s on, so it doesn't bother me at all, and we don't have that many shares left either, so we got to get something somewhere, right? Look at that. It's already defending the 10 EMA. So my move here is if I don't get filled on the dip trade, I'm going to wait for the first 5-minute candle to make a new high relative to the prior candle to get more in. If that means getting more in at a higher price, a less advantageous price, so be it. That's cost doing business. So the way that I'm looking at it right now, this current candle high is 333. So if a new candle opens and prints above 333, and I just got the 16 fill there, I'll add to there. Well, that renders that analysis moot because we already got the 16 fill. Let's see if, Joey, we lose $3 because we're coming into $3 pretty quick over here with our cost basis now being 314, having added at that level. So let's post some orders above that level and let's go into the high 20s as well for some possible profit takers. Bovin saying TRAW at the high of the day. TRAW, decent. South of 1 million shares though, Bovin, but I see what you're seeing, and the volume profile is increasing a little bit on TRAW. Casey says, I think I'm in love with TRAW. Damn, Casey, you and Bovin seeing the same thing. Okay, let's show everybody TRAW, since so many people are talking about it. Actually, I don't want to zoom in, pardon me here, Assassino, because I got to be able to see the entire screen, lest CYPH upset me over here. All right, 5-minute chart. This is what Casey and Bovin are talking about over here. This is TRAW, quite respectful, again, of the 10 EMA on the 5, but still a little bit low on volume. But as you can see there on the bottom of the chart, the volume profile is increasing, so this might not be a bad look. I'm going to put this on the side chart, guys. We'll keep an eye on that.
Oh, Zan, you make me laugh, brother.
I think I'm in love with guess who?
Oh, Zan.
Is he over there? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, she probably over there.
Sure
you see her recent?
She's here, Assassino.
You see her recent message in the old?
I did. Yeah, she was mentioning your fan.
Yeah, your fan. Yeah.
My fan. What kind of delusion is that, my boy?
My boy. All right. No, in all seriousness, look at this. We are on IBIT. If we can get that to close as a complete, I like it for a potential bounce, man. We get rolling up into 60s. I was gonna say something there, but it's probably not appropriate. I mean, hey.
What were you gonna say, Joey?
I was going to say something. I'm not going to say it now, brother. I can't say it. I mean, it's not that bad. There's no profanity. Watch your profanity. There's no profanity in that whatsoever. Oh, man. Yeah, see, the thing is my brain just goes right to memes and songs and stuff like that. I got to get it checked out. Yeah, we're all above 400 now. What I was looking at there on Tesla, Gorev, is that this was starting to close as an inverted. What happened? I
have to let that one go. Yeah.
I
like to give a little bit of wiggle room.
A little bit of wiggle, not too much like a wiggle room, but we give a little bit there. Wiggle. So there it goes. You know it's not. You know that song?
It's too good. Opie just started laughing.
So there it is, guys, on TSLA. Let's get a little bit involved here. Not too much size on this front. Man, it's all laughs this morning. It seems to be the case.
Yeah, it's a good vibe.
We don't want it to end too quick, so we're gonna stay optimistic and see what we got going on. Bang, let's go. If this is either gonna work or it's not, right? That has Captain Obvious, as some of my friends would like to call me. Let's see if we can get involved in there. Bang, we're short a little bit of Tesla. If it breaks the high, we're out of that one. one, sure.
We're out of this one. CMBM, I'm getting out. It's putting in lower highs. It is clearly using the 10 EMA on the 5 as resistance. Let me make my case to you guys. So we're going to go 1 for 3 on this name. It loses the 10 EMA where? At that 11:15 candle. Then what does it proceed to do? Well, it gets me back in because it has 2 bottoming tail candles there, which showed me that the buyers were quite aggressive on the dip below VWAP. But then what does it do? It then bamboozles me. Why? Why do I say that? Because you know my methodology is to take the first 5-minute candle to make a new high on a closing basis, which is what the 11:25 candle did. But what I failed to see, and this is an oversight on my part, was the fact that it was using the 10 EMA now as resistance in the exact same way that it was previously using it as support, and it continued to do so in the 11:30 candle, the 11:35 candle, the 11:40 candle, and yes, believe it or not, the 11:45 candle as well. So I'm out. This looks like it wants to flat bottom break. I'll have no qualms with flat bottom breaks, baby. There goes TRAW. I like how you're doing that, Bovin. Okay. There goes TRAW. Let's take a look there at what case 526 and the OG Bovin. Great call out by you, Bovin, into the new high of day. 267 now. This one's got 46 percentage points under its wings, and it is flying high. Let's throw in the ticker there so you guys can follow along. We are talking about TRAW, small cap gapper. I don't really care what the headline is. I don't really care what this company does. If the technicals are sound, we're going to trade it based on technicals, and that is it. So we're Bovin. I like that 240 area right now. If this one is to come back down, at least into this area, why do I say that? Consolidation area here at 240 and the 10 EMA as well as the volume weighted average price now overlapping at that 240 area. I could be persuaded to get in at 250. Because, well, I'll front run it and then I'll dollar cost average into those technical levels. So let's go ahead and pull up TRAW instead of that hot garbage CMBM, which just made it onto Uncle Sheriff shit list. So TRAW, let's go ahead into that one. All right.
What happened? I didn't even.
Yeah, well, you're in your old world, bro. It's all good there. Yeah, it's fine, bro. It's fine. So now we're looking at TRAW. Let's set up a dip trade here into 50s. It's coming into 50s quite hot there, baby. Why is it not on the side chart? TRAW. Where is it? TRAW. There we go. So there we go. All right, just taking a look here at TRAW. It's coming back down into the $0.50. Let's see if we can get. It's popping back up again, man. I'm just trying to decide if I want to get in here or not. We're going to try this. It's not, all right, we got the print, but we need to defend this, though. So I'm going to try to get money fills, possibly in the high 40s in case this one does dip down. Oops, there we go. We're going to go right, we'll go 48s, somewhere in and around there. And then we also have to have profit takers in case we do get a price spike up. Into 60 we go, and then into 64s we go. So let's see what TRAW has to offer here, Joey, watching closely. Shout out to Tarek. All right, guys, we're having a good time, guys.
Yeah, exactly, Chris Strader. You know 100% how it goes, brother. All right, so this is the signal that we were looking for. Let's go to a higher time frame here to see if we're running into any resistance zones. So what we want to look for is a failed high right there. So now we're sitting on the 15-minute. I'm not seeing anything that is like eye-popping, right? So this next level that I would look at would be around 427. So shout out to that minus the 7. Anyway, so there it is, guys. 412 rejection of that. This is just middle of yesterday's session here as well too. So if we can get that curl over, as long as we don't breach the high, which see this is what I'm talking about. It's so hard to short some of these names, regardless of the run that you've been on here earlier in the morning. Just immediately right away just bid back up, and then sure enough, as soon as it closes above 411.25, I'll hop out. And at that point, I'll be able to get a better price just in case it does want to turn around. The consolidation might be a little bit longer than what we're thinking, and then you get that curl over, or it's just a steady move higher. If this signal is breached, then watch out for an additional leg, and I think that's going to be the play. I'm not saying flip long right away. You obviously want to give your thesis some time to work out. If it doesn't, then so be it. We're rocking and rolling here in QBTS. I'll show you guys my entry on TSLL. Small potatoes, but it's starting to grind, man, and this might take a lot more than what we're anticipating. So I don't love it. I like it a little bit. So yeah, I mean, we like it a little bit. Otherwise, I wouldn't be involved in it. But there it is, failed high. We could add up here considering I started relatively small, but I don't want to just add just yet, just in case it does make that additional squeeze. Keep an eye on the volume profile to see if we get any of that selling pressure starting to pick up. But you can see it within the tape as well too, guys. Focus on these asks. You can see that it's continuously flushing. So that's some strong signals of strength. And then if you, strong signals of strength. Anyways, let's do it. Yeah, strong. There you go. Boom. So there it is, guys. You can form your ladder as well too. You want to keep those quote highlights up to date.
All right, guys, we're still watching here. TRAW, I got into this, a couple of beak wetters all the way up into 66s. We didn't get the ad, though, into 48s. Now, the what's it called? The volume weighted average price is actually higher than the 10 EMA. VWAP 45, 10 EMA 41. This candle has a higher low, but also has a lower high. The current high of this candle on TRAW is 64, days high and prior bar high 67. Be on the lookout there. I'm looking for prints at 69, of course, and we're taking 74s and then possibly 82s on a price spike up. That CYPH ad looking real good here off that 10 EMA. Several beak wetters off that ad. We got in at 16s, just took out some there at 33s, now waiting at 39s and then 45s. Looking for continuation there. PGEN, did we get the ad? Finally getting the ad. Now we're going to have to hold up here. Levels on PGEN are as follows. We have $5 coming in pretty hot. We're at 503 right now. That's first psychological area of support. Then the 20 exponential moving average on the 5-minute chart is 490 with the volume weighted average price just a little bit below 80. Looks like 77s or 78s. So be on the lookout for possible support on PGEN. It does look like one of those stocks where, you know, the buy program is on in the morning and then, you know, come 11, 11:30, sometimes it gets shut off. That doesn't mean other traders won't pick up the slack because that big move will have alerted traders to its, you know, to the price action because it shows up on the scanner in the exact same way that I found it. So going to keep an eye out on that, looking for prints. Now, what's our cost basis on PGN is 4s. So let's go ahead and wait here in the high single digits as well as mid double digits for a price spike up, back up into 5 we go. Good look there. How's my TRAW trade doing? No new prints, but no DCAs either. So packing the patience on this one, Joey, 43% and going. I'm just worried about TRAW because I still perceive it to be a little illiquid, at least it was initially. It has one candle on the 5 that did 716,000 shares, but most of the other candles are just, they're not volume heavy, quite frankly. So that does always concern me. Quickly back now to CYPH, right up into the high 30s we go. We're showing a 38 seller right now. I'm actually waiting at 39, so we're gonna have to cross, of course, to get the print. It's up 91.5%, was up higher, of course, at the day high. Looking for continuation there, Joseph Options into the mid 40s. I just knocked that fly out of the sky,
nice,
bro.
man.
That was pretty good.
Did it die?
Yeah, I smacked it. What's that? Yeah, man. You just got to do the chopsticks now, Fabian.
Yeah, so there it is, guys. We're still sitting. It's a new high on QBTS, up 6.5% on the session now. Just playing the 5-minute breakout here. And you can see, obviously the ideal entry is around the volume weighted average price. But with this momentum, you have to just look to participate, especially when you start forming these bull flag-esque patterns. Really important stuff. And then sure enough, patience, and then you get the volume to step in as you crack through that 24.50 level and continue to grind all the way up to 25 bucks there roughly. So I'm gonna add just a smidge here, Sharif, on just a smidge, brother, on TSLL, just in case we do get that continuous breakdown. I like the way it looks, but if it rejects 1680 and then climbs back higher, then it may not be so good. So I just added an additional 50% of the amount of position that I currently have right now. Nothing substantial. I haven't caught the fill yet. Let's TSLL. Come on, man.
Hey, man.
Oh, man. Oh, okay, this is disastrous right now, Sharif.
Take it easy there,
we gotta
Ram.
breathe the woosah.
What's going on over there, Ram?
What was
Ram's
that?
in a mood today.
No, she's all right,
a little
man.
comment there in the chat.
No, what'd she say?
Okay.
Christoph, Roy Jenkins, y'all need to chill, be respectful. Okay, it's not that hard. She's right. It's really not that hard, to be honest with you. So there it is. TQ starting to move a little bit lower there, guys. Here, I'll even do this for you, Ram. So there it is, Tesla continuing to look, and now it is. So 1.5% on Tesla itself, 3.5% on TSLA, and we're starting to move a little bit lower. So this can come into play. A failed new high push right there, Sharif, as we're coming back in to the entry.
There goes CYPH up back into the 40s. We're still south of 55, but we've got now 16s on that refresh into the 10 EMA on the 5, looking for continuation there. How's my TRAW trade doing? Let's go TRA. Yeah, it's okay. We didn't get the Joey, what's going on over here? How come these orders aren't filling? Joseph Options. 59 showing up now. We're waiting in the lofty area of course, 69. Ozan, Bovin, I'm going to need you guys to buy up the liquidity here, guys. We need to break 3 because Uncle Sheriff's got a whole bunch of orders layered at 69, 74s, 82s. We're looking to fill all of them. So keep your eye here on TRAW. Still hanging out, looking very bull flaggish. My analysis is I'm broke. Get it, Ozan, brother. You're always making me chuckle. No, but my analysis here on TRAW is we are a bit of a compression pattern. We've got lower highs, but also higher low. Prior bar high, I'm talking about the 1150 candle. We just took it out. We just took out prior bar high. So look for continuation now, 65, penny high. No continuation quite yet, but we did take out prior bar high. So now we're waiting at 69s for the print. And we'll have to see if this one, there's 66 is showing up, looking for continuation on TRAW. 67 is the high of the day. So we just got 1 penny from HOD, but we did break trend. We broke trend because we made another 5-minute candle to breach prior bar high. So let's see if this one's got the juice to take out 70. We got a whole bunch of orders layered there. But shout out to the OG Bovin bringing this one to our attention again. CTKB looking awfully good here, guys. Look at this buy program, bull flag, to start out the day at 9 o'clock. We kind of range a little bit then. The volume steps in bigly at 11:30, and it's all gas, no brakes, 555 high. We're up about 20%. I'm going to keep my eye out on this one. Very interested in working in. What do you got, Joey?
All right, man. Good stuff there. So you can see same thing here in TSLL. I only have 10% left of my QBTS, so that one's still working out for us. Now we just need Tesla to slowly break down. This is when you're going oppo the trend, it's really tough, and it can be mentally taxing at times. So as long as you just stay woosah and cool, then I think you'll be all right. I don't care if I get stopped out on this because of the QBTS trade has been really good for us, and then we were short AMD earlier in the session as well too. So there it is, slowly starting to curl over, and that's what I'm referring to kind of in the overall market. I'm not going to say that the quantum names are going to have any effect on it because it typically don't. They're not heavily weighted enough. Oh, Sharif, so
yes,
you know the quantum ETF?
What?
The quantum ETF? Yeah, it's like QTNM or something, whatever the ticker is. Yeah, the quantum ETF. So Jose and I were looking at it last night after the close, and it's essentially just a Nasdaq ETF hidden with a little bit of quantum names in it. Yeah, that's what it is. They
stack it with other stuff.
Yeah,
right?
it's pretty much the Nasdaq, but then they put like the top 5 quantum names up there that are just like they're weighted at like 1.5% and stuff like that.
Joey, you can do it yourself, bro.
Yeah,
you can do it yourself. You can just say I want to allot like this percentage of my portfolio to quantum, and then break it up like quarters or fifths.
There's like 100 holdings in it, and everything's like 0.5%, 1%,
I hate
and all
when they
those
do
things.
that.
And those things.
Don't call it a quantum ETF.
Yeah, but it's just like
ETF,
it's like you go through. It's like Google. Obviously, Google has its play, but then there's Microsoft in there, Zscaler, there's some cybersecurities, and Apple, and everything along those lines. But yeah, QBTS looking pretty good. And the longer we stall up around the highs, I do like our chances of coming in a little bit. 406.11 is probably going to be a support level that was acting as prior resistance for a primary target. Anything south of that, I think, is a bonus.
All right, guys. How we doing over here? We're still waiting for a dip trade on PGEN. Nothing doing there. TRAW didn't quite make it up into 69s, but it printed 66s, which, look, I still like this. The volume... Pardon me. The volume is not exactly great on this, but I do like the chart pattern. But we have to load up now CTKB, because I don't see a red candle for a while over here, and it is a 1 penny spread, which automatically makes me like it a lot better. 555 high, we're showing 52s now on the way to 53s. Bhavin, how are you working into this, brother? What's your methodology here? You like punching in at highs? Do you have any qualms about doing that? Do you then put, dip trades like I do at key technical levels in case it does reverse? Tag me so that I can see your methodology, because this thing is like a few pennies off highs. And since 10:45, there has been one red candle on the 5-minute chart. This current candle is yellow, meaning that it is break even. The open and the close price are the same. So I don't know how to work my way into this one. That's something I always struggle with when something's trading at highs, how to get in. I try to use micro pullbacks, but that's not always the most successful strategy. TRAW, we just got filled here. So there's the 10 EMA on the 5 coming in there. VWAP as well. It's going to have to hold up above 37s. That's a consolidation area low. I'm talking about the candle from 1120 to the breakout candle of 1140. Area low there is 35s. Anything below 35s ends the trade for me. We have 52s on now, so let's go ahead and post some profit takers to the high side in case this one does catch a price spike up. So we're going to see what we get here on TRAW, and we won't get upset. Shout out to my man Neil, who will be on momentarily. But first, we're going to have to go to the big desk with Happening Now.
Talk about this market, guys, because this is a beautiful recovery on this 15-minute chart here for the Nasdaq. We're now well above yesterday's low. And I mean, yesterday's high here around 617, 618, currently trading around 612, so not too far off. Again, really impressive comeback for the market. Now, we didn't have any economic data today. We're hopefully going to get some of that economic data starting again next week as the U.S. government reopens. But I need to talk about Fed speaks. I think that's certainly going to be key. We already had comments from Fed Schmidt, who's right in the middle here. There he is. He spoke around 10:05 a.m. and he was kind of hawkish, which should not be super surprising because he actually is the Fed member who voted against that 25 basis point cut in October because he thought they should have held rates steady and not cut at all. He said he still thinks inflation is too high. He said that labor market's actually still in balance. I mean, it's a little weaker, but he's not viewing it as negatively as a lot of his Fed peers. And yeah, he says that a lot of the inflation too is not necessarily tied to tariff risk, and that if they cut, they could actually risk making inflation worse. So again, pretty negative, pretty doom and gloom here, I'll say, from Fed Schmidt, but he's not the only Fed speaker on the docket. At 2:30 p.m., we get Fed's Logan. Just under an hour later, at 3:20, we get another pretty hawkish Fed member as of late. That'll be Fed's Bostic. So Fed speak on watch, and also on watch is crypto. Specifically, I want to talk here about CRCL. Circle had their earnings. They got an upgrade yesterday from JP Morgan, but they got another one today from Baird, basically saying they like this earnings report and they actually don't think that the company is overvalued, even at 50 times forward earnings for 26. We're going to take a moment now to send you over to Neil and his lesson of the day. So without further ado, Neil, give the people their lesson. Back to you.
We shall. And we like indicators. We like any reason to get in a trade, find confluence, whatever it might be. But sometimes those things will shift. Something we had mentioned the other day is when volatility goes up, suddenly I care what the VIX is doing in real sense. And if you watched in the morning show, so one of the things I was talking about, if you're trying to like revert short, which is something that, works a lot of every single day this week, more or less, if you're patient enough with it. But the reason to get in was sort of shifting. And if you're trying to limit your damage or try to find the best times or places to get in, sometimes you can go a step past like your normal regular setups. I'm just going to show you like the VIX on a 5-minute. You guys can obviously see here, volatility is dropping, market's going up. You get a reversion bounce here at about 9:55, just before 10 o'clock for about 15, 20 minutes or so. You had another one just before we left you, before the midday guys came on, and you're kind of getting one now, although that's not really breaking out. So you have these 3 points at which it looks like there's a chance for a reversal or confluence for a reversal if you're already looking at something. And the way that you can work off that, I wanted to be on, I only traded one time. Well, this is another good point. If you get to a level that you like and you want to take a shot at something and the market's going the other way, you get what you get and you can't get upset. And then it breaks out and you walk away. That's part of it. But if you want to go back over to something over and over again, then I think, it's not Rivian, I wanted to go to Mara. That's the one. Then each of those time frames, there was an opportunity where one stock, at least for myself, and the only one that I was constantly in, every single time that I had both it making a high and the VIX making a bit of a curl, then there was an opportunity to jump into it. And now, obviously, the best one was like the open when it was actually flushing through the lows. But eventually, you just had to wait. It would wick the high, the VIX would turn, take a shot again. Eventually, it doesn't follow through, wicks the high, VIX takes a turn, which is the one happening right now. Then I jump in it again. And the thing about it is if you're going to be doing some kind of a repetitive strategy on a single stock, make sure that it still makes sense. It gets one thing to take a shot at like WDC, which I did. Like, okay, well, if this stock gets to here, I want to try shorting in there. Took the shot, done. That's it. Like that goes another $4, $5 up in here, and you can just be blowing yourself out trying to figure out how to get that turn. That's not going to be me. It either sets up at the place that I'm looking for, the way that I'm liking it, or you don't trade it. The other thing to consider on a day like today is, what's your time frame? Are you an all-the-day type trader, or are you a swing type trader? Because it's so easy, and I'm going to speak to the swing traders now. It'd be so easy after we get a move like this to get really, really bullish, like this is the bounce, right? Now, obviously, almost every other time that we've had, I'm talking about the Nasdaq, that we've had a touch of the 50-period moving average, they have been really, really good bounces. Sharif just yells out "tempted to touch." That's a great song, by the way. I'm probably going to listen to that after I do this now. It is a trend-following song. I'm playing it in my head, man. I'm trying to talk to the people here. It's all good, brother. It's all good. But the last time we bounced the 50-period moving average on the daily, it elicited an upward trend. Here's the only point of caution I would say for that. The manner in which it happened, vastly different. You did so the last time we made this dip, or even the previous ones, in a different market with lower volatility. What I mean by that is you weren't having these crazy, how many 2% days have we had recently? A lot. It just feels like we're doing 2% every single day. So that little touch wasn't really done with any sense of panic, with any sense of liquidity or anything along those lines. And so when I've been saying wait to see what happens on Monday, that's my feeling. Like we're going to close back above the 50 period on the Qs. Anybody that's like a DCAer in the markets that just blindly puts, whether it's a Q or SPY, whatever you like, you put dip buys at levels like that and you just buy them every time it gets there, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people that want to look maybe swing long in here. I'm very cautious about this going into next week. A, because you have Nvidia earnings. B, because we're in a higher volatility market where it's entirely possible that shorts at the top, options expiration has more to do with this rally than anything technical off the 50-period moving average, thus making it a little bit different from this one here. I'm not convinced. Like if we go back into like September lows and buys, yeah, sure. Like who wouldn't want to swing the dip buy long and make it obvious? But there's a lot of different things happening. You throw in the Fed maybe not even giving us our rate cut in December, the lack of economic data, the sell the news when it came to the reopening of the government. There's just a lot. It's just a different dynamic coming in here. So again, I think I wanted to just speak to like that other side of the trade because it's something I mentioned this morning. But certainly when we have this extra volatility, whether you could be looking at the Dixie dollar index, you could be looking at the VIX, whatever other indicator you might use. I just find that extra confluence, right or wrong, can help you in a trade. Because when you have extreme volatility like here, it's easy to overtrade, like we saw this morning. But if I'm also waiting for a signal on the Nasdaq and on the VIX, and then my stock's at the high, at least that's going to limit the amount of shots you take or the setups. You'll be sitting a few of them out, which can help you if you're trying to go against the grain. So that's a couple of lessons of the day right there. Hope you guys have good luck the rest of your session. And Tempted to Touch is an absolute banger. I got to throw it out there. Shout out to you, Sharif. I'm going to probably listen to that a couple of times after my lunch. By the way, we didn't actually end up getting fajitas with our lunch. Like we got with a salad lunch. Like we got the ingredients to the fajita. Like we got like the beef and everything, and we had the corn salad. But it just left me a little bit hungry. So maybe I'll steal an actual fajita as well. We'll see. Only if there's leftovers. But good luck, everybody.
Don't worry about it, Joey.
Yeah,
I need you so much. Bro, this is a banger. Yes, Neil. Neil Brill is a good juju, bro. Here we go. CYPH. Joey, look, we got sevens. CYPH rocketed down to $3. Everyone starts messaging me in the chat. What's going on with CYPH? What's going on? Well, it's at a key technical area of support. And here comes that 50 penny area again, guys. Wowzers. This is a great move here on CYPH. We're going to take it out all here. That put me positive on the day substantially, for me anyway. So we're doing well here on CYPH. Really happy with this trade. I added aggressively into this $3 area. Once I came back down and I saw it held strictly, I'm like, okay, we're on the 4th bar on the 1 minute candle of the hold at $3. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna get in double the size that we typically do. We did that and we took it out all the way up for a nice little 53 penny winner on the top there. So I'm happy with how I executed, but that's not the end of the trade here. What's the next trade? As the OP is the one Knob always says. Well, I'm looking for a decided move, pardon me, above 50 pennies. And the reason I'm looking for that 50 penny move is because there's clearly a seller at the $0.50. There's only a couple of candles, first and foremost, that breach the $0.50. How are you? You look fantastic there, eh? You got to zoom out a little bit, though, to get the background. Are you able to zoom? He doesn't want to do anything there. He's happy with how it is. Get it, Neil? All right, so we're doing it live right now on CYPH. Down it goes off that 50 penny level, so I'm happy with this out, keeping my eye there. Also, want to mention, TRAW did well on this one as well. Shout out to Bovin, man. Thanks for pointing this one out. We're in at 48, Joey. The best print we've got so far is 77s. That one at 79 still hasn't printed. That one at 72 hasn't printed. And Case was trying to chirp me in the chat. She's like, yo, you need to start listening to Bovin a little bit about TRAW. I told Case, look at the position board. Damn. What are you talking about over there, Case? How's it going over there, Neil?
Looking sharp.
Yeah,
let me know. Let me know if you get a couple of those fajitas, brother. If you get a fajita, see if you can grab your boy one over there. Yeah. Looking spiffy.
Grab head right there, bro. Look at that.
Yeah.
There we go.
Hey, I don't think Neil heard me, but that's all right, man. We'll get it sorted out.
That's fine.
That's what we. Everything's fine. That's fine.
Shout out to Mimi.
Ooh.
Took it to 3-2 CYPH. Great trade, Mimi. Great trade. Yeah, that double bottom at 3 is kind of what caught my attention on CYPH. Let's talk. So we're talking about all the good ones, right, Joey?
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean all the trades that we got on are good. So let's cut the crap and get down to PGEN.
Get it to him.
Look, we're a penny out of the money on this, and I'm really thinking about flattening out here, Joey, because what I'm seeing now is incrementally lower highs. So I think if I get a pop-up at the 4 where I'm long, I'm flattening out.
All right.
I don't like this one. And we've, I built the position into it. It's above 5, I get that, but the chart pattern displeases me greatly. It is not making any new area highs. In fact, it is making lower lows and lower highs generally now, after rejecting that 519 area. So I think if this one pops off, I'm going to take my trade break even on it and run. What do you got?
All right, good stuff, brother. There's QBTS, guys. You take some out almost right there at 25. This one's been cooking up for us all session long. Artemis, I see what you had to say about that Tesla short. Yeah, man, I mean, I'm not going to stand in front of this too many times. I'm just going to take the signals and the prints and what we've seen. That gives us a little bit of edge, right? So if I don't, then you don't want to be too hesitation nation. So if it's simplistic stuff, right? It's either it's going to work or it's not. And if it doesn't, then I don't mind. I took a little bit off here, coming back to our average price. If it cracks that high, then I'm gone Zeno. I'm out of that one. We'll find something else to trade, and then we won't continuously try to short Tesla or AMD. Like, this thing is up. This is insane, Shreve. AMD is up $20-something on the day, which is crazy. Like, what the heliante?
What the heliante, Joey?
On, man, for sure. I mean, but it is what it is. This name's still completely in play, and you can't deny it at all, right? Like, so this bull flag is crazy, crazy stuff. I did think that we were going to sell off a little bit, considering where we opened up on the daily, right? So just using that kind of to correlate some of our intraday price action as well. So where are you opening up in a daily? Are you in a breakout zone? Are you in a breakdown zone? And if you eliminate this half of the candle, hold on, let me pull out my trusty tool that we haven't touched in quite some time here, Sharif, and see what we got going on. So what we'll do do here is just picture this is all eliminated, right?
Okay.
And then you open up at the lower end of these ranges. Sure enough, you get that flush earlier in the bit, but then you just bid right back up. So good work for the trusty tool there, obviously being highly sarcastic. It's not even funny. I did essentially nothing with it there, Sharif. But hey, it is what it is. So AMD continuing to climb higher, and then watch out for Monday morning and I guess Sunday evening when Blue Ocean opens up. Where is AMD going to play? And I think that this thing is most definitely going to start trading higher, but I could be totally wrong. But there it comes, Tesla heading right back in, failed to break that 1705 level on TSLL and heading back in towards the lower end of the range. Are things starting to cool down? Maybe, possibly. Let's be patient and wait and see, my friend.
That's fair. That's fair. I had something to ask you there, man. It just slipped my mind. Do you know Jeff Nippard? Nippard?
No.
Okay, so he's like this science-based lifter from Burlington.
Oh, yeah?
Do you know that big like bodybuilding gym, muscle something?
The new one, right?
Yeah,
the new one. Yeah.
In the West
Isn't
End?
those guys? Aren't those guys who were in behind?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that guy, so there was a white guy and a black guy. The black guy used to come to my gym. That's quitting. I forget his name. He's
Rampage Jackson.
No. he was like a lot smaller when he was at my gym. But then like he started getting into the IFBB pros and stuff.
Oh,
like
really?
That. So, yeah,
those guys are huge.
He's serious.
Man.
He's very serious.
These guys are so huge.
So that guy goes to that gym. That Jeff Nippard guy. Science-based lifter. So this guy built his own gym from scratch, and it's like he's got two sides. One is like he's got like posing lighting. So it's like all top-down lighting so he can pose. But that's not what I want to tell you about. So this guy's got a science room, man.
Oh, really?
And he spent almost $1 million of his own money on all this science equipment. And so he was like doing like this promotion at that bodybuilding gym, and he selected like 10 people, and my buddy got selected.
Oh, really?
Who goes there, to do the testing there.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, I know. So I'm going to go with him probably next week. Because like I'm just gonna accompany him, I'm not doing it. I didn't get selected, right? So I can't wait to see this guy's gym.
Yeah, that's it.
I just got the text from my buddy now, which is kind of why I jogged my
That's sick. It's like Ilya.
Does anybody know who Jeff is the GOAT?
It's like Ilya. It's like Ilya Topuria. He built like $1 million UFC guy. He built his own in his house, which is just insane. Like
I love that.
Spent like $1 million on it. It has like all the rehabilitation, like chambers in it and everything like that.
That's how you become like the master at your.
But doesn't like. But again, like, isn't LeBron said that in the offseason he spends $1 million on his body?
So Wilson was doing the same thing.
Was he doing the same thing? He's a little bit. I mean, hey man, when you got that type of money, I have to listen. I get it. Some people don't like LeBron. Some people love LeBron. In his earlier years, I thought he was extremely annoying, but you have to give the man credit for playing at the level he's been playing for that long.
And not just, and that's because he puts in the work.
The work,
and
exactly.
He's
just different.
Having hundreds of millions of dollars.
Different breed of human, man.
Let's see what everyone's saying, man. Yeah, people are saying great things about Jeff, which is kind of like my take of him. Other Vlad, Jeff has great lats. That's how I found the dude. All right, sounds good. Jeff is quality, says 40-year-old. D-Gen, I love it. Corey Reed says Jeff is awesome. He's from my town, Grand Falls, Windsor, Newfoundland. I didn't know that. I didn't know he's a Noof. That's cool, man. Ban this spamming guy, says Drew. Who's spamming, Drew? You're not telling me who's spamming, brother. DVLT is creeping up. I know who he is, says Laura Boomer. I just thought of, science. Well, that's what he calls himself, a science-based lifter. Tech2 says Jeff is the GOAT. That's kind of why I got the feeling. Oh, it's Tech9090 who's spamming. Uh-oh. They're gone. Ram is in a bad mood today, and if you bother her, she's absolutely going to block you immediately. You know, sometimes you'll catch her in a good mood. Sometimes she's going to be in a bad mood, and it really just depends on your luck that day.
Look what Brankle just said. You know what this is, right?
No.
The symbol to Ethereum.
Okay. The broken glass. That's brutal, bro. That's brutal, bro. That's actually really good. I like that. I like that a lot.
Oh, I'm not as, but we'll get it figured out. I got it up here, man.
All right, guys. Beta Pro?
Yeah.
There we go. And now, for some exciting news out of Canada for the sophisticated traders on the stream, it's Beta Pro by Global X Canada, Canada's largest provider of leveraged, inverse and inverse leverage ETFs. They've just launched 6 new triple leveraged ETFs, and they're offering you guys 3 times bull as well as 3 times bear exposure to the S&P TSX 60, semiconductors, and on U.S. Treasuries. And if you want even better, they're offering a special fee rebate, dropping management fees to just 65 basis points, all until New Year's Eve. Yes, December 31st, 2025. Plus, the U.S.-focused strategies use currency hedging, offering the potential for pure performance and exposure. Sorry, I was just looking at the screen. So if you're a tactical, sophisticated trader and you're looking to amplify your performance, you need to check out betapro.ca/3x daily to learn more. I'm stopping out here of TRAW as it came in to the 10 EMA. It lost VWAP, it lost the 10 EMA, so we're taking the last little amount for a 2-penny winner as this one continues to bleed down. Going to keep my eye out on this one for any area of support. I like that 240 area, as I spoke about before, because it was a consolidative area, essentially from 11 o'clock all the way until we took that level out at 11:45. So if I see this hold up at 240, I don't know if I'm going to get in because that's below VWAP, and I don't want to get in the habit of breaking my rules. So it's already losing 240. It looks 39 on the bid there. Let's see if it holds up. Holding up momentarily here, Joey, up to the 41, 42. This is a breach of my rules, though, right? And so I don't want to be in the habit of, making exceptions, but I do like this area. So I'm going to have to steer clear of it, though, Joey. One trade only, guys. PGEN. I'm not liking this trade. It is at $5. It is putting in lower highs. I'm 4 pennies out of the money, and I'm going to flatten out this trade sooner rather than later. In fact, I'm going to cancel this dip trade here because that's how much I don't like it. If it pops back in anywhere near my entry at 2s or 3s, I'm flattening out. This ain't the move on PGEN, not from what I see. CYCU moving up. Bovin, I told you, that one is on my crap list. We're not going to be getting into that one. I'm not good with it. It's too bamboozling for me, so I'm going to steer clear of it. But, you might print on it because I know that typically happens. You tell me something, I say, Bovin, I don't like it, and then you message me half an hour later, like, I'm printing on it, and I can be happy for you, brother, but, I don't like it. CYCU, this is what the OG Bovin is talking about here. This is why I got out of it, because it was umpteen amount of chop, a little above VWAP, a little bit below VWAP, looking like a line of best fit rather than support or resistance. But as Bovin mentions here in the chat, we are now breaking out, looking to take out 495. We're still south of 5. It's not for me, though, Bovin.
All right, not for you, not for you.
For me.
So there it is, guys. TSLL right here, guys, starting to cool down a little bit. You can see that we have that 1705 level as potential resistance. Once that breaches, then we're out of there. Otherwise, we're going to aim for our target that we mentioned earlier in the session, right? So this is going to be that next support level. We bounced off it relatively quick and then now starting to come back in. So we like that. Still sitting in QBTS. You can see that we got those 2 positions. QBTS has been an absolute monster for us on the day. And then the shorts, actually, let's head over to AMD and take a look at some of the short positions in which we took. We went over them earlier, but this is why we got out, right? Just steady grinding higher, grinding. Hey. Imagine I was holding on to this, right? So I'm like short. If I was stubborn and I don't get out $2 out of the money, I'd be, again, that's something that you're not supposed to do. $7, you're having a bad day, and that's not how you want to end your Friday. So anyways, risk management is obviously always key. So there it is, nice short, eventually bounces back, comes to the break even, and then the momentum out of the opening drive is what really caught me. Wish we grabbed a little bit more shares, but that was $3 in the span of a minute and a half, which is relatively quick. And as a momentum trader, that's exactly what I want to see. So yeah, Ethereum has broken trend, but again, it looks like Bitcoin in the space is just a steady grind higher. This looks a little bit stronger, and I think from a percentage metric, Ethereum is slightly stronger than what BTC is. So just take that into consideration. We'll head over to the daily on ETHA, and if we're getting identical prints in some of these crypto spaces, I like our chances for, I'm not going to say sustained rebound, but maybe a little bit less of it, or a little bit deeper of a pullback, I should say. You're down 33% off of those highs. That's not a good time. You're not having a good time whatsoever with that. Ready to rock and roll.
For too long, Joey, trading meant risking your own money or never having enough to start. The fear of losing as well. That's what kept so many traders on the sidelines, but that is all changing. Trade the Pool is transforming how traders access, yes, the markets, of course. With its limited risk trading model, traders can actually fund capital, use funded capital rather, while Trade the Pool absorbs all the downside. This allows traders to focus on what truly matters, the discipline, the consistency, and of course, the growth. So when you hit the profit target, you keep up to 70% of the profits. There's no fear, there's no barriers, there's just real opportunities. This is the revolution, guys. Yeah, the revolution of limited risk trading, and it's all powered by, yes, Trade the Pool. So visit them, tradethepool.com, or scan that QR code now to get 10% off your first evaluation. Shout out to Joey Options.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Mitch Hoke.
Shout out to everybody at Trade the Pool there. They came over, we went out for some breakfast and everything along those lines. Good time.
Get it, Mitch.
Good time, good time.
Sorry for stealing your headphones.
I was gonna say, man, the guy, bro, he's around the office and he's like, where is it? Where is it? I'm like, man, did these things have legs? And Sharif's just obviously doing his morning walk, living his life.
No, it took like several days, bro. Several days for me to even realize I had it.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, when he's looking for them, you're outside enjoying life and having no idea that
Can
they
I
were.
tell you, I was like zoned out. That was the day I was sick, right?
Yeah,
I didn't do the afternoon rundown. I had to get the hell out of here. You ended up covering for me that day.
I did.
I couldn't. I just couldn't hang.
You couldn't hang, brother. That was almost me. No, Trav, man, I didn't drink some salt water, but what I did is, apparently last time when I got my head checked, my blood sugar was a little low. So what I did is I pour a little of the cranberry juice into the water to dilute it, because this is insane. 28 grams of sugar and 300 milliliters.
What's your problem, Ram?
And 300 milliliters of liquid. We don't want that, man. You got to dilute that a little bit because we don't want too much sugar. You drink that salt water. No, I just read that. Good job, Joe. But no, in all seriousness, guys, I got out of the QBTS trade as it's coming back in towards the break even. We don't want to hold any of that against us, so we'll lock in our last 10% there, and then slow, steady grind in TSLL. We're looking for that break of that 1680 level, and if it does, we could be heading back towards the volume-weighted average price. We'll try to hold some size right to that specific level.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Have you ever bought shoes or boots off Shein?
No, I've never bought anything. I never got anything. No, I never got anything.
Ram, have you bought any boots or shoes, any clothes? Nothing? For real, eh? No, seriously, I
thought Ramin said that everything's like kind of like a Dollarama-esque style.
Which is kind of what I'm asking. Like, my observation is that, it's going to be not good quality, but I was checking the reviews on the app, and people are saying good stuff.
It's all right.
They have pictures of them wearing it and stuff.
You think oh yeah?
I was going to try, find out.
I mean, there's a couple things that I wanted to.
Well, for what it's worth, I actually have purchased both shoes and clothes off Shein. I found the clothing quality to be decent. The shoes, though, the sizing is a bit off. Is what I'll say to that.
Thank you.
All right.
Ozan, what is your problem? Leave her
Applied
alone,
volatility,
Ozan.
Chicago.
What happened?
Chicago 1807 was asking me IB. He's like, hey, Joe, what do I think about meta calls? I think he said, did you say 670 strike or 570 there, Chicago? Let's pull up meta here. You just want to keep an eye on the implied volatility. Gorev, I mean, this is what we were talking about earlier. Obviously, we break that candle wick low, but all this buying pressure within these prints is good. Uh-oh, Ramin's coming on now.
Oh, no.
She's taking a break.
Now she's going to be mean. Watch this, bro.
She's nice, man. She
put bad angles of all of us. Look what she's doing already. Look what she's doing.
This is crazy. I have a headache, man.
Lashing out. That's what she's doing.
I have a headache. No, but in all seriousness, guys, META, you can start to see the buying pressure step in. Let's pull up our options chain and see what you're looking at. Chicago, what did you say? What strike price were you looking at again, my friend? Joseph, what do I think about 640? We're going to pull up the 640s. All right, let's see what we got going on, man. I'm amped for this weekend, man. A big fight weekend, a good fight weekend. I'm thinking about getting myself some candy. We're playing hockey tonight, so there's a lot going on, really. Like, I have busy life.
Why, Joey? Like, I don't get it. What's the candy got to do with it?
I don't know. I just thought I'd throw that in there. You know what I mean? The English candy. So we'll get some.
You want that vegan candy? I know for a fact,
bro. You would never have guessed. I told you. I was multiple. I ate a lot of this stuff before I figured it out. Right?
I have nothing against veganism.
Yeah. Me neither. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest. It's probably, like, with all the additives and everything, it's probably not that healthy for you. But aside from that, we're not going to get into that because we don't want to get anybody upset or offended over here. So what we're going to look at is the 640 strike prices on META at the money IV, 47.7%. And those are drastically out the money. You have to take that into consideration. So just know your game plan before you buy those options. Those are only extrinsically valuable. You would want to buy significantly more time on them just for them to allow allow them to get to 650, the underlying to get to 640, sorry, and then north of that, Sharif.
All right, guys, there's nothing going on right now, sadly, in small cap gapper world. I mean, I'm looking at the ones that I already got on. I'm checking the scanner. So what I'm going to do is just take the opportunity to tell you about some of the settings that I have for my scanners and, you know, what I use and stuff like that, because it's something that I seldomly get to go through because we're always trading, okay? So this is my scanner. This is what I'm looking at when I'm looking at my top screen. Obviously, it's a very basic scanner, but what I wanted to point out is a lot of these platforms, they come with pre-programmed scanners. Doesn't matter if you're getting trade ideas, you're getting e-signal, you're on IB like Joseph and I, it really doesn't matter. A lot of them come pre-programmed. And the one that I like using the most is this bad boy right here, top percentage gainers. So that basically is from 4 a.m. onwards. What is up the most in the market from 4 a.m. onwards, right? And so that's the default one that I use. And then I make some, you know, additions to it. Very simple, very rudimentary additions. I filter by price. So I say price greater than, and I put 85 pennies. And the reason I say 85 pennies is because Neil gave me the idea that, look, if you want to trade dollar stocks only, at least you should know about the ones approaching the dollar. So I put 85 pennies to give myself, you know, that advantage of knowing what's on the way to the dollar. Then I put a volume filter, but this volume filter here is really not my standard for trading, it's my standard for filtering. I put 250,000 shares. And the only reason I put 250,000 shares and not a million, which is typically what I look for, is because I want to see, again, with likewise with the price, I want to see the ones on the way to making to printing a million shares. So if I filter by a million, then that'll kind of be a little bit too late. Also, sometimes I'm looking at them in the pre-market and they haven't done too much volume in the pre-market yet. That's why I keep my volume a little bit low, lower than I would require for the actual trade. So super simple. It's the top gappers, top percentage gainers, or top percentage movers, whatever it's called on your platform. Then I filter by price, 85 pennies, and I filter by volume, 250,000. That's the filters. Now let's talk about what we actually see here on the screen. So this might be different for you depending on your platform, but I like to have these columns in. Very basic as well. So the price goes without saying, the change percentage, that means what it's up from 4 a.m. But then I also include another column that says change percentage from open. So that starts generating what it's up from 9:30 onwards. So sometimes I can juxtapose whether or not it's up or down on the day based Ram, shut up, girl. All right, that's why I can juxtapose what it's up from 4 a.m. and what it's up from 9:30. And if I see that 9:30 print is negative, that means it's down from the open. But like this one here, as you see, with CYPH, it's up 80% from 4 a.m., but it's also up another 53 from 9:30. So this one is moving quite good. Something like that would make my list. Also, I go on to the next column there, gappers. That's a little bit different. So the change percentage is from 4 a.m. to current. Gap is from yesterday's closing price to current. So that's something also to keep in mind. Then volume goes without saying. I need to see how much volume it's doing. But then I also include two other volume columns there. Average volume, Ram, and then 5-minute volume. Why do I include average volume? Because I want to see on a daily average, what is this one doing above what it typically does on a day? Are we like 10 times the daily average, 5? What are we doing? And then, last but not least, the 5-minute volume. Why do I include 5-minute volume? Because I want to know if this one was doing volume earlier, when the stock was good, or the volume is still coming in relatively recently. Because I have a recency bias, obviously. I'm not trading in the past, I'm trading in the future. So S volume, or not in the future, but the present, sorry. So 5-minute volume as well. And then last but not least, I misspoke, shortable. This tells me whether it's easy to borrow for shorts on my platform, which gives me an idea of whether it might be a thick trade. If it's easy to borrow, then, you know, nobody has to find it and do locates, pay for locates, and then, you know, get short. But if it's easy, then people are just going to be punching in short. It's easier for them to do that, so then I can perceive that it might be a bit of a thicker trade. And by this shortable column is by no means exhaustive. It's only my platform, so it could be easy to locate on a different platform, but at least it gives me an idea. So that's basically what I'm looking at there. And then I have my news blotter right there, Ram, so that I can kind of click the name, and then it brings up the news item. I have my fundamentals explorer here, and this every platform is going to have a different one where you can have all the different information about it, the float, financials, ratings, profile, ratios, etc., news, ownership, and then obviously a chart that I can kind of change at will. And this, when I say to you guys, I'm looking at the 5-second chart, it's typically this chart here, which I'll maximize. And then I'll try to discern, areas of support and resistance on the 5-second to kind of pick up micro pullbacks. So I kind of want just to go over that a little bit, because we never really get the chance to look at that.
No, that's good. No, that's good, man. I think people want to see those formats for sure, to see whether, regardless of what platform you're using,
right,
it just gives you an idea, right? It's like, okay, I want this here, there, and there. It's key because you're going to be looking at it every day. Mine's the one at home I have is a little bit different than what I have here. So if you guys were all curious, this is me. I got options chain on there, then the overview. Then this is Sharif's small cap scanner as well, too, stock scanner. We don't want to look at this one, P&L. It's not looking good, that's for sure. So we're not going to be going over there. And this is my alerts as well, too, guys. So when I'm setting up swing trades, I'll just come over here. I'll transfer the tickers in which I'm particularly looking at, set the alerts, and then sure enough, I'll wait till they activate, and that just lets me know when they're starting to be triggered and whether if I want to take the trade or not. But hold on, let's do this here quick, guys. Hold on. There it is. Let's head over.
Algo, man.
Yeah, let's go.
We're getting serious
let's
here.
go. You know what I like what Michael Noss said this morning? Because he's like, dude, if you get too complex in your algorithm, then you don't even really know what you're doing. So you want to keep it relatively simplistic. And I'm like, yeah, it doesn't know how to pick certain things up. And I think we had the ability to do so. But mind you guys, like I'm not going to sit here and like be like, oh, this, that, I'm all this. And no, that's not the case. But what I was happy to do was translate something that I've learned over my years and put it into code, and then that worked because, full disclosure, sometimes I should be executing on trades in which I don't, and this allows you to pick up those missed opportunities, all right? So I think that's just really important to note. You eliminate the discretionary aspect from things, and then you get into more of that quantitative approach, which I think is really, really key. And over time, it works relatively well as well, too, guys. So what is November 6th? We went over this earlier. It picked it up. It triggered for us, so that was a nice. We went over the performance on it. Still slightly negative, shooting at 33%, but that's from September to this current date. That's on Disney. Get that garbage out of here, man. We need to go over here, over to something that is significantly better, and that's going to be NVDA. So the list of trades, the last day was on the 10th. I believe that, which was Monday, and then sure enough, we picked one up that worked out for us. The trades analysis, once again, 66% with a profit factor of 2.55, and then the performance is doing half decent as well. Let's take a look at Advanced Money Destroyer. This is duplicator on this one for sure, so you can see that's working relatively well. Profit factor of $3.62. So for every $1 you're risking, you're essentially making $3, which is absolutely beautiful. And then November 12th, 11th to 12th is the last time that it triggered. Picked up the signals. Now, if I'm looking at this, me personally, from a discretionary standpoint, I wouldn't touch this. But the algo allows you to do so, and you just eliminate all of that bias of a factor. We'll go over one more night. We'll check that super chat in one more.
Joey, I'm going to interrupt.
Go ahead, man.
CYCU's breaking out. Shout out to OG Bovin. There is the move above 5, guys. Watch out for the rejection of buy, but I want to shout out Bovin again. You called it again, Bovin. Good look. CYCU emerging here into local highs. 505. It's looking to take out more. Just keep an eye out on that. Sorry to interrupt.
All right, there it goes, guys. So nothing picking up since the November 13th, and it took a little bit of a loss. That was the last one I was going to go over. We'll take a look at this super chat. Which platform is best for algo trading? I personally couldn't give you that. I just use TradingViews and Pine Editor. That's it. And I got my code through something that I'm not going to disclose either.
Oh, that's what I like there. Yeah, you keep them hanging there, man.
Keep them hanging.
Can't let them know. Can't let them know. Guys, TRAW is also breaking out. Here we go. Well, I don't want to say it's breaking out, but it's definitely popping back off into above the volume weighted average price. It is still technically putting in lower highs. So if you're looking at local area highs and lows, we're still in a bit of a downtrend. Let me make my case. Area high in at 278, that is the high of the day. Current area high, 265. Then, how's the low situation doing? Well, that's the area low that we got into there at 47s, but take a gander at this. That's the breach of 40, so it's a 39 area low. So it's lower high, lower high, lower low, lower low. Let that break trend, and then maybe maneuver back in. Pardon me. So that's what I'm looking at right now, but I definitely keeping an eye here on TRAW. It definitely feels like there is a seller at 70, despite the fact, of course, that the high of the day is 78. I won't be persuaded, I think, punching in just on the break of 70. Here comes 68. 69 now showing up momentarily here on TRAW. I'd like a closing print above, I think, that 75 penny area. And the reason I say closing print is because we saw 3 attempts, all of which failed to hold above 70 on a closing basis. They were able to wick into that level but not close. So I'm going to keep my eye out on this one. Separately, I've gotten in back to PGEN. We got 6s on. It's showing me 8s. This one is curling back up. So it looks like it made an area low. It's back above the 10 EMA on the 5, and it could be, you know, looking to take out highs at 519. So we're going to give this one the old college try. I think anything below $5 ends the trade for me. So that won't be anything that I like there. Yeah, above and look, brother. I mean, you clearly know what you're doing with the small cap gappers. You got a good call there. CYCU making more area highs into 514. Shout out to the OG Bovin there. Also, I want to bring your attention to TOI, one that I gave you guys earlier. And then this one was doing nothing for a long time. It has now dropped into a key area, what I perceive to be a key area of technical support as a volume weighted average price at around 390. Finding momentarily support at that level. I'm not going to be punching in here. It's got to defend that area, and then we can get in on the first 5-minute candle to make a new high. It is up 27.5%. Good look here for TOI. Definitely keeping my eye on that one. I'm going to put CYCU on my chart. I think I'm going to take off FIGR because I'm unlikely to trade it because it's expensive. So we're going to put CYCU back. It's back from being on my crap list, Joe. Ooh, that's a look there. Okay. CYCU. We're going to throw that on there, Assassino. I haven't asked Assassino lately, you know, what he likes about the chart. Sometimes I ask him, and then he's so polite. He's like, I don't know, man. But Assassino, you've been looking at a lot of charts. I know for a fact you're looking at a lot of charts because you're. Is there anything that you're starting to pick up on, brother? You know, you're looking, you see a pattern here that you like, maybe levels that you like. Anything, you know? Are you starting to pick up on stuff like that, or what's going on? You can't complain. I like that. I like that. That's fantastic. Hey, man. You know, because he's watching passively all the time. You know, you don't know if he's absorbing.
Yeah, we gotta take a look at what holdings Assassino's got over there as well. Oh, well, I asked
him. He hasn't punched into anything yet. I asked him the other day. He's still waiting. I was talking to Fabian about what he got into lately.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he's in some good stuff.
Amin's just waiting. She's so excited.
We already know what she's in because she gets excited when they're up, right? She kind of tips her hand a little bit there.
And we're up and we're stuck.
Oh, what's going on, Fabian? What the hell?
You guys are going. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
damn.
Joey, it's about almost 1/4 Look at this pinky. What was going on there, bro? What's going on? IVVD apparently is breaking out, says Casey. Yeah, it's okay. It's not bad. Not a good look. But it's CYCU that's breaking out. Oh, there it goes. Into the high of the day, 535. Shout out to the OG Bovin. Great look here for CYCU. There's the break of the earlier high. There is the break of yesterday's high at 37s. It's all gas, no breaks now on CYCU. But look at the insanity. 47s to 27s. Yeah, that's a spread working for you right there. But it is up 30%, and it's a multiple day runner now. Ran very, very nicely yesterday. Had a flat day the day prior. Keep your eye out on CYCU. It is a spready bad boy, though, so you can find yourself in some trouble if you catch it the wrong way. Joey.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, there it is. Peter, I mean, I try a couple of things, but I usually have to get the majority of it corrected for me, which I'm totally fine. It just spits out what I want and is a little bit more clear. So we're going to zoom down on a couple of things, guys. I haven't even looked at Tesla. I've been distracted. Oh, good thing that I haven't been monitoring this overly close, because I would have been like, what the hell? As you get a big time engulfing print on the 5-minute candle, this could just be an additional liquidity grab. if it does want to make a move lower. But again, we're standing in front of a freight train essentially, so you come right back into those support levels in which we were referring to earlier in the day, and then now you get that big time rebound, fail to establish a new high. So we'll probably have to wait until maybe 1 o'clock, even closer to 2 o'clock to see if we get any form of a breakdown. Any concerns about today's gains becoming a short play when the Fed start talking? I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, and this is just my opinion and market observation. I could be totally wrong. I hope that I am for the majority of the cases. And if I'm not, this is just me speaking, giving you guys my thoughts. Let's pull up my thing here. I think that this is just a cover rally, to be honest with you. I don't know how much this is going to be sustained. We can take a look at some of the structure and some of the overall market and some of these stocks, but I do like the continuous breakdown for now. This does look strong, but also just be cautious of a potential bull trap. But you have a lot of leveraged individuals who haven't been participating from those April lows, who are looking for these stocks to continue to climb a little bit higher. I mentioned yesterday that I believe that the condor style is the way to go right now. So you want to find your bases and then just allow that to kind of just trade within this range. And I think that's where we're going to be sitting for some time. Once again, I wouldn't be surprised if this market decided to take an additional rally higher. Ptolemy says buy the dip. Is this the dip that you're necessarily looking for? I mean, let's pull up the actual Qs and see from a percentage metric in which we are down. And is that dip worthy? You get 6%. For me, I don't know. I would like to see something a little bit more. Obviously, it would suck for a lot of accounts, but 10, what's that? What happened? What'd I miss? Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, we could block whoever you want, man. We could block anybody if we have to.
Why is she like that?
10%. So we can get 10 and a quarter right there. I'll be gladly buying things. But then you head over to some of the bigger names, Sharif, like Meta, who's down substantially. I think this is a good opportunity to start getting involved. Once again, I say don't buy everything at once. Slowly allocate your positions. And then next thing you know, you're continuing to climb higher.
All right, Joey, let's get to the news. It's a quarter two. And I've got 14 pages today on
it's a quarter after one.
Yeah.
And I'm a little, I
need you now. Oh, boy.
Damn.
My bad.
It's all right.
All right, here we go. Let's get right down to business, baby, because there's a whole lot to talk about. So here we go. Let's talk about the Nvidia issue here. Depreciation versus, the depreciation risk that is being spoken about, by analysts now. But to be fair, it was brought to the fore by Michael Burry. So let's get right down to it. So what he's talking about is depreciation here assumes, depreciation assumptions are emerging as a critical risk factor. And the point of depreciation, what we're talking about here, is it determines how long companies assume expensive assets like NVIDIA's GPUs, AMD's GPUs, remain useful for their useful lifespan. A shorter lifespan for these chips, meaning, how long they're actually usable for, advanced tasks, could inflate costs and hurt earnings, of course, while a longer estimate, so if you can use these things for 5, 6, 7 years, as opposed to 2 or 3, certainly helps improve your reported profitability. So let's just make this a little bit clearer. So companies currently estimate server GPU lifespans anywhere from between 2 to 6 years. NVIDIA's AI GPUs have kind of only existed since 2018, so we don't have a historical track record for their durability or their obsolescence cycles, but we do have examples, mainly CoreWeave. What do I mean by that? So CoreWeave, which is obviously a major NVIDIA client, says their older chips still hold strong value, and they make the case using the A100, which was created by NVIDIA back in 2020. They say all their A100s are fully booked, despite the fact that they're 5, almost now 6 years old. In addition, the H100s, remember that initial H100 that was banned from going to China? That was created back in 2022, and they're actually charging 95% of what they were charging back in 2022 for the use of the H100s, meaning that they've only had to discount it about 5%, despite the fact that these chips are now almost 4 years old. So CoreWeave, based upon their model here, is using a 6-year depreciation cycle, and they say all data points suggest infrastructure retains value due to continued demand for older workloads. So what's the pushback here? Well, your boy, Michael Burry, he argues companies are overstating GPU lifespans and understating the depreciation that would come with that. And of course, that leads to the artificial boosting of earnings. He claims the real GPU use life is about 2 to 3 years max, not 6 years, which is what CoreWeave is claiming. And then as a result, he cites rapid obsolescence and intense refresh cycles driven by AMD and Nvidia, who are doing like an Apple release cycle, dropping new GPUs every year. So he also points to the fact that Amazon cut its lifespan assumptions from 6 years to 5. Google, Oracle, and Microsoft are all still using 6 years. And Nadella says Microsoft is spacing out its purchases to avoid being stuck with multi-year depreciation to obsolete chips. So Joey, this is something you and I have talked about a lot. We said, look, these GPUs are going to continue to be bought because there's going to be new ones released every year in the same way that they're dropping iPhone every year. And there's going to be hyperscalers buying these in bulk every year. Does that mean, though, that there won't be demand for the older chips? CoreWeave says there is.
I think there will, because you got to think, like, everything's more expensive. Obviously, the sales of the older chips are going to dwindle as the newer ones start to pick up.
Right.
But at the end of the day, look, I don't know if it's a good comparison, but look at vehicles. People still buy older used vehicles, whether it be, you don't have to always have the newest thing. As for the lifespan, I think that's really important, but time will tell. We have to wait until, say, we start really using the GPs, we get more of this AI build out, and if these hyperscalers are like, hey, we need to continuously upgrade our chips, otherwise this isn't going to work. So be patient and wait to see what they're going to do. And I think we're going to be able to reflect that through the capital expenditure.
All right. Adara, what's your take on this?
Honestly, I think here with regards to Nvidia, I don't know. I want to say just in general, here to zoom out a bit with regards to the market, we've talked a lot about how these valuations are being cited as a reason that this market is selling off. And I've read a lot of really good insight as well, saying that maybe a little bit, I don't want to say dangerous, but maybe ill-informed to try to, attribute one cause or one reason to this recent sell-off, right? Like, there's been a lot of excitement in the market. We had these earnings. We're coming off a big earnings season. We're heading into the biggest earnings report of the season, Nvidia, and we also had that shutdown ending, right? So the point I'm trying to make is, regardless with these chips, I think it's really important to not get too focused on the headlines. It's like, oh, this is the reason we're selling off. That's the reason we're selling off. That's really all I have to say on this. It's a bit more of a general point.
All right, thank you for that. Let's go on to iPhone and Apple. Apparently, there's iPhone strength in China. Finally, let's find out what we're talking about here. So apparently, Apple's latest iPhone lineup is showing a strong rebound in China, with iPhone sales jumping 22% year over year just in the first month. The iPhone 17 Pro and the Pro Max are leading the cycle. Counterpoint says that the iPhone 17 lineup accounted for 80% of Apple's China unit sales in the month of September. But if you're looking at the quarter in general, not just the month, iPhone 16 remains the best-selling phone globally for Q2 2025. And the iPhone 16e, which is a bit of a cheaper version, also climbed into the global top 10 with strength in Japan and the US. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about upgrade cycles, right? Joey was talking about a possible super cycle for Apple. So JP Morgan's Samik Chatterjee says robust replacement cycle demand exists as consumers shift back into premium devices heading into next year. His surveys, or JP Morgan surveys, show consumers increasingly ready to upgrade to new iPhones, driven by the camera and design improvements. He's also saying the high-end mix remains strong, so basically premium iPhones represent 72% of the purchaser's intent, up from 64% a year ago, where they were looking more at, lower end devices. And he says the iPhone 17 Pro Max, which is the one that I have, remains the top purchaser intent driver, reflecting, of course, demand for that premium high-end smartphone. Apple's global sales share rose 1%, driven by emerging markets such as India, Brazil, and stable, not great, but stable performance, Joey, in the United States.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you want to see. We were talking about the super cycle and everything along those lines in Apple, but the one thing to note is that their AI spend hasn't been crazy whatsoever, but some strength in China is obviously good, and that's going to add a lot too. So as long as we remain relatively robust within the sales, I like our continuation within Apple. I'm extremely bullish this name for the long term. I told you, I mentioned this a long time ago, and Dan and I have said the exact same thing. There was almost zero chance of Apple getting this AI thing everything right internally, so they're going to have to spend a little bit of money. But with the iPhone sales increase, some strength within China, I think there's a good solid outlook in this name, and I wouldn't be surprised if we continuously grind higher and higher. Why? Because that's the nature of the beast. That's what Apple's always continued to do, and I'm not going to bet against one of the best names in the stock market.
Okay. Dara, what do you make of this latest numbers? Or saying the Pro Max is leading away? What's your take?
Yeah, I find the whole concept of like the super cycle as a catalyst to be pretty interesting because by definition, it's super, right? We're not going to get them every time. So in my opinion, this is like a fun short-term distraction for Apple. And I think you certainly see that in the stock performance. It's often been performing the opposite way of its Mag 7 peers. And also with AAPL, the other thing I need to emphasize here is the fact that it's not an AI play. And that has actually hurt the stock a lot in the past, but now that we have this iPhone, it's, again, a fun thing to distract people from the fact that their AI is kind of weak. We're in a market that's really selling AI, so that's been a good look for Apple. But yeah, long story short, I don't know how I feel about this as a catalyst in the long term. I think by definition, it's going to be a fun thing to spice up the stock's life briefly, shout it to the Spice Girls, and then eventually we're going to have some kind of AI update. So nice look for now, but eventually I think the Emperor will lose his clothes.
Thank you very much for that. And thank you for KC526 dropping membies. 10 free Trader TV Live memberships. Thanks to your friend there, KC526. And you guys have all now been able to get the morning notes. So I just want to let you know that if you're now a premium memby because Casey has kind of gifted you that, make sure to get the morning note every day, and I'm just going to show you exactly where to get it. You go to the Trader TV homepage over here, you click posts, and there she is right there. You'll see Sharif's morning note, Trader TV. Just hit read more and click that bad boy link right there. It generates every day. It's what we're using right now to do the news. It'll be out just a little bit after at Dara's watch list of the morning. So thank you very much, Casey, for that, kind of you, and make sure you guys get in the morning note every day. Let's go on to the next topic over here. Applied Materials beats, but their guidance sensitivity is now in focus. So let's talk about AMAT, because AMAT had a decent year, guys. AMAT is up 37% despite still being down on the day. They posted EPS of $2.17. That beat the $2.11 expected by analysts on revenue of $6.8 billion. That was interesting. That topped expectations, but it was down year over year. They took home $7.05 billion last year, so a bit of a drop. However, when it comes to EPS, when we're talking about profitability, is now 4 straight quarters where they've exceeded EPS estimates and remained profitable, so not a bad look there. The stock reaction, the stock sold off sharply. It could be market conditions, of course, as investors refocused on guidance risk and the sustainability of equipment demand, which is what we talked about at the beginning of the story with Nvidia. AMAT was up 41% year to date, but as I mentioned, up almost 38% here. Joey, basically they're saying that they're looking for now $2.19 EPS on $6.9 billion of revenue for the next quarter, and then $9.31 EPS on almost $29 billion of revenue for the fiscal year. What's your take on AMAT?
Yeah, I'm just reading some of the segment performance, Sharif. So we got semiconductor systems revenue was $4.7 billion, down 8.1% year over year. The applied global services was down 0.1% roughly, or sorry, 0.9%. The display segment surged 68%, which was good. But the geographic revenue highlights in which I'm looking at right now, China revenue declined 8.1% year over year, which I think can be slightly alarming. But I guess with everything that's going on over there, we can't complain whatsoever. Let's take a look at some of the technicals here on AMAT. What a day it's been putting in. Did you see this?
Day.
Yeah, it's going bonzos. So not too bad of a look. But guys, off of this September low, you go on this monster run, 56%. You can't complain about that whatsoever. You do break through some of the supports, but a big time rebound. You get the gap down after the close, it sells off, boom, and then you start to recover a little bit. So still an inside day, but not a horrible look in AMAT.
No, not too bad, Joey, but just it's not the best performing semi-microchip, but it's still from the year.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, like, it's, as you just mentioned, it's not that clean, but from the April lows.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
You know what I mean? Like, from where we're currently, you still got 87%, right? Yeah. It's not meta or anything like that where it's down 30%.
That's a good point.
Off the highs.
Guys, Google pushing back on an EU breakup demands in its ad tech case. Yes, yet another European regulator investigation into an American company. I'm going to keep harping on this until they stop, which they won't. Google is under heavy scrutiny as the EU regulators push for structural remedies, including, guys, a potential breakup of its ad tech business. Specifically, what we're talking about, Randy, is AdX. Going on, my man. How are you? The European Commission fined Google, as we know, just a little bit less than 3 billion euros back in September for using its dominant ad tech tools to reinforce AdX's central role in the ad supply chain. Regulators are making the following case. They say Google's behavior has harmed competitors, it's harmed publishers, it's harmed advertisers, and they've created deep conflicts of interest across the advertising stack from top to bottom. So instead of selling part of the business, Google submitted a plan, all right, to make it easier for publishers and advertisers to use non-Google ad tech tools. The proposal they submitted to the EU mirrors the exact same one they proposed to the Department of Justice. Here's what they're conceding in the submission. They're going to allow publishers to set different minimum prices for different bidders in Google's ad manager, and they're going to increase the interoperability, I should say, between Google tools as well as third-party ad tech systems. They argue, Google, that is, that a breakup would be disruptive and technically unworkable. The EU, basically, for a change, the EU regulators actually aligned with the U.S. Department of Justice for Google to sell their AdX. EU officials could still issue further breakup orders if Google changes, or if Google's changes, I should say, fail to resolve competitive concerns. And the regulatory overhang here, Joey, remains one of the most serious structural threats to Google's ad business in years. And I want to say something to you.
Yeah.
You and I were watching Google for a long time flounder, like at that 200 level, and we didn't really understand what the hell was going on. And then all of a sudden, that regulatory overhang about divestiture of Chrome gets removed when Judge Mehta ruled in their favor, and the stock rocketed up. So, Joey, if this gets resolved as well, do we see a big boom in the same way that we saw with the Google Chrome thing?
I don't know how much heavier weighted this is, right? I think some weight needs to be taken into consideration because it was the wrath of Lina Khan, essentially, who started that with Google, right? Yeah. So, again, I don't know how heavily weighted or weighing on Google this is going to be. Maybe time will tell, but what I wanted to ask you was this. Sir. So, obviously, Google is slapped with a digital ad tax in the EU. So if they have to go with this, if I'm Google, I'm also saying you're not going to get as much revenue and tax from me personally as if you break this up. So why would you want to do that? That's less tax income for you, and then it may disrupt, as they mentioned, the ecosystem of all of this stuff.
Well, that's what they're saying, right? And like, let's be honest about it. Google's going to know how their tech works a lot better than everybody else.
Absolutely.
But they also have the vested interest in keeping everything the same and not, to.
I mean, to get back to your initial question, Sharif, I wouldn't be surprised if it does work out in their favor. You see this stock take an additional leg up, right? It's just a little bit more fuel to the fire at the end of the day.
The feeling I get, to be honest with you, dude. We'll have to wait and see, but we saw what happened last time when that regulatory overhang with respect to Chrome, I mean, it rocketed up after that. So I'm not saying it's going to rocket up if this gets resolved, but we can just try to pick up on patterns. Let's talk about Tesla, hit by a Powerwall recall. The energy segment here, one of their fastest growing, if not the fastest, is under scrutiny. So we reported this to you guys late yesterday about this, but Tesla is recalling 10,500 Powerwall 2 units after the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission flagged the defect for causing overheating. It caused smoke and or flames with the risk of serious injury or death. Issues tied to a third-party battery cell defect. Tesla did not disclose which third party that was. There are 22 overheating reports, 5 fires, but this does not affect the newer Powerwall 3 units, which are not impacted. We're going to pause for a second. We got to go to Adair with breaking news.
Yeah, Financial Times reporting here that Alibaba, again, the story has to do with Alibaba. White House reportedly saying in a memo that Alibaba is helping Chinese military target the U.S. So again, Financial Times reporting that this memo from the White House is making some allegations suggesting that Alibaba is helping the Chinese military target the United States. Back to you.
No, down into 155 goes Baba. It is now down 2.25 on the day. What happened, Ram? Buy. Rem says buy. She's giving it advice. Look at the blood in the street now. There goes Baba. That is one 5-minute candle, guys. 162 area high. Now we have a low of 155. Be on the lookout here for Alibaba being accused by the White House of helping the Chinese military. We'll keep an eye on that. All right, let's go on with the Tesla story. Powerwall is a core product, as we know, in Tesla's energy division, and that is Tesla's fastest growing segment in Q3 of this year. Their energy revenue surged 44% up to $3.42 billion, making up now about 25% of Tesla's total revenue, which is a record mix. So good look for that area, but not a good look, of course, as it has to deal with the old Powerwall 2 units that are causing some issues there. So we'll keep an eye out on that. Let's go on, though, to the next pardon me, a second here. Actually, Adara, give us your take on the Tesla Powerwall recall.
I think it's kind of a nothing burger. Like so for one, I initially saw this reported around like 10:20 a.m. yesterday. The stock was already well down after that, and actually, like, kind of chilling when we got this report. It didn't really react, right? So I don't necessarily know if that's going to be impacting the stock. Furthermore, roughly 10K Powerwalls. Now, I don't know the exact number in the U.S., but as of September 2025, I looked into this. They said they've done over 1 million. So, you know, percentage-wise, kind of small. I think this is more of an interesting story just due to Tesla's burgeoning energy sector. But I think the story in and of itself for the company as a whole, kind of a shoulder shrug.
What do you make of this Tesla Powerwall recall, man? They're recalling a whole bunch of them. It's the Powerwall 2, the Powerwall 3, not involved. But Joey, this is like their fastest growing segment, the energy segment.
The energy storage. The energy storage. I think that's something that they have in the pipeline. The recall, I think, again, at the end of the day, it's probably just a little blip in the radar. Nothing too serious. 10,500 Powerwall 2 units. I think they'll get past it at the end of the day. I think the segment is still going to grow within the company. So.
All right, let's keep going over here. On to the next story, guys. What do we got next? We got Bitcoin. Oh, no. Where's it at, Joey? Where's the coin at?
It's not doing too good. It sold off. It sold aggressively right there.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the TQs. Just to hop into the market here, quick, Sharif.
Yeah,
look at the Qs roll over. This is what I was talking about. We had that resistance zone marked out, now starting to sell a little aggressively. Bitcoin going to be the weaker underlying there as well too. So the SPY starting to break down, and we're still short this Tesla, looking like it's going to break through this support level. So maybe we'll post up just ahead of 1670 right there on TSLA. So I forget who said it, but you remember you said I wanted to flip that short to a long. People don't forget. People don't forget.
Let's talk about crypto, guys. So the spot Bitcoin ETFs, you know, we're talking about your IBITs, et cetera. They saw the second largest outflow day ever with $869.9 million pulled out just on Thursday. Ethereum also saw the blood. $259.7 million in net redemptions. And listen to this, Joey. This is something you and I have been talking about a lot. Roughly 1.11 billion in leveraged positions were liquidated within 24 hours, sweeping out about almost 250,000 traders and igniting intraday volatility. As Joseph and I have talked about, there are a lot of leveraged products. I didn't know that there was 100 times leveraged product on Coinbase. I knew about the 20, right? I didn't know about the 100. Somebody in the chat told me about the 100. That's crazy because you get a tiny move in the price and then you're forced to sell. So these really leveraged, heavily leveraged products, I think, are creating artificial instability in the crypto market. We'll have to wait and see how this gets dealt with by the regulator. Is the cycle breaking, though? Analyst Ted Pillow says all three prior BTC bear markets bottomed with a death cross. And he warns another is forming now, which is kind of like completely counterintuitive to me. So when we typically get a death cross, you're not thinking something is going to bottom here and start bouncing back up. You're thinking the blood is about to start. But what he's saying is the three prior bear markets were actually ended by a death cross. So we'll have to see if that ends up being accurate or not. Also, crypto chain data shows accumulating behavior shifting. What do I mean by that? So about 2.53 million ETH was added at around $3,150. So a lot of people are saying that that's a key technical area of support for ETH. Solana apparently has a very similar look at $144 with an even deeper area of support at $124. Joey, what do you make of all this?
Yeah, I think it's interesting, man. So for me right now, I get it. Things don't look too good. You can tell by this candle here from a daily standpoint. Nothing is looking overly optimistic at this point. But I think at this point, we got the institutions getting more involved. We have the greatest ETF launch of all time with the BlackRock IBIT ETF and everything along those lines. I'm sure it will bounce back. You just have to be really, really patient. This is a repeat offender. As for the liquidations, 100x is ridiculous. The regulators absolutely do need to get involved. And I forget the CEO of some crypto exchange was like, yeah, this is getting too out of hand, and you don't necessarily want that. We're starting to get more regulatory clarity within the space. We don't want to dilute that by adding these ridiculously. Would you have a 20x? Ask yourself, would the SEC allow a 20x of Meta or of NVDA? Probably not. So why do we have it in these crypto names? As for Ethereum, it's unfortunate that it's been horrible, considering a lot of individuals have been pumping it, but you're right back into some early summer levels right there, around 3,100, and back to Bitcoin. Just be patient. I'm not going to compare it to some of these Mag 7 names, but when there's really blood in the streets and everybody's losing their ish and the sky is falling, I think it gives you good opportunities to get involved in some of these spaces.
Look at this, man. Green Saber 005. You know what he just tagged me and said?
What?
Jupiter has 250x.
What does that mean?
Like Jupiter, I'm assuming, is like an exchange like Coinbase or something like that.
Oh, really, eh? Wow.
I don't know. I asked him to message me the deets on that, but that's what he's saying. I'm not verifying whether that's right or wrong. Obviously, I'm not trying to call him a liar, but I haven't seen it for myself.
What do you do? Crazy. How does that work? Like it goes down literally like 0.7%, 0.75%. It's done. You're at zero.
No, I think he means Jupiter. He means Jupiter, the actual cryptocurrency, which has 250 times leverage for that, not BTC. Oh. I'm not sure. Tag me again, brother. I messaged you there. Shout out to Green Saber 005. Send me the deets on what you mean there, brother, because I'd like to be able to give people a bit of a better look on that. And if tag Joseph as well. Sometimes I'm reading and I don't see the tag, so tag Joseph, he'll see it as well.
Yeah, hold on one thing. Tendency hunters. I have an expiration right along those lines as you as well too. So mine is May 15th of 2026. But in the meantime, in order to hedge, like that's the thing about these 2x, you have no ability to hedge your position. Listen, the situation in my account is like literally pretty much code red. But I'm allowed to, I allow myself to mitigate that by going the options route and then selling calls against the position to just reduce a little bit of that downside. If it's 15%, if it's 20%, at least I'm not taking the full brunt of this sell-off head on. And that's what happens with the most amount of people, the majority of people. And then that's why you get those mass liquidations because you're not keeping risk really in check.
So it is. Okay, first I want to read Mike's argument. Yeah. Mike, 200x leverage is on most exchanges. You have to use cross margin, meaning your whole account is at risk rather than an isolated trade. And I just asked Perplexity now, Joey. Yeah. Listen to this. I said to the following. I said, does Jupiter's exchange have a 250 times BTC leverage product? And then he said, yes, the Jupiter exchange offers BTC leverage trading products with up to 250x leverage. This is part of the Jupiter Perps product line where BTC, Ethereum, Solana can now be traded with leverage as high as 250 times increase from the prior limits of 100 times for BTC, 150 for Ethereum and Solana. This upgrade supports trading larger positions with less capital, although it comes with increased risk of liquidation due to higher leverage. When are they going to get this thing under control, bro? 250 times is crazy.
Shut it down right away. I'm serious, man. That's what's ruining.
But I'm just telling you what's real.
Yeah, exactly. That shouldn't, like, why would anybody even want to think about that? I mean, your entry would have to be so precise to the penny to even stand a chance. I get it. It's a lottery ticket. I understand that.
I don't get that, man.
It's a lottery ticket at the end of the day, but you got a better chance of getting struck by lightning than that probably working out for you.
Oh my God, Nathan, you're killing me, guys. You guys are overthinking all this. Jupiter is a planet that requires 250 times telescope to see it.
That's what I was thinking.
Nathan, you gotta stop drinking, bro. Shout out to Houston,
man. He said he's not drinking
today. My man.
Said he's not drinking.
Yeah, there's Tom Train saying there's 1,000 times leverage products for other coins, Tom. No, man, this is, I
doesn't
don't like
work,
this at all,
man.
Joey. I don't like that at all, man.
How does that work? Like, it goes down literally 0.1% and you're done.
Guys, quickly before we go on to the next story, Joey, CYCU is all gas, no brakes, guys. Rocketing up above $6, 610 high right now. Shout out to the OG Bovin. Shout out to Casey. Shout out to Fluffy Hippo. Shout out to everybody trading. Shout out to Leanna. I know you were looking at this too, Leanna. CYCU, all gas, no brakes into the highs. I hope you guys are printing up multiple.
I want to say one more thing. Guys, this is the session where the shorts aren't going to work, in my opinion, right? There's still a lot of time. Just be cautious of what's going on because every dip is getting bought back up. So don't fight what's going on. I'm sitting in this position. I don't have very many shares here regarding, so I don't care if I get stopped out. But just the continuous bounce off key support levels, don't get frustrated and don't fight what we're experiencing right now because I think the market is just going to continuously get bought back up. The sell programs, the sell triggers aren't going to get triggered until 3:30 probably in the afternoon, if they do even. It's just one of those days, man. We've experienced them before where it's just a steady grind higher, and they're essentially micro pullbacks. So.
All right, Joey, let's talk about Merck buying Cidara for $9.2 billion. It's a bet on the universal flu prevention. I want to hear nothing about this, okay? No, let's talk serious now. So Merck will acquire Cidara Therapeutics, trading under ticker CDTX in a $9.2 billion cash deal securing access to Cidara's late-stage antiviral flu candidate. They're going to pay $221.50 a share. That is almost 109% premium to the prior close. Wow, that's a deal. CDTX shares doubled in the pre-market up to $216. The deal values Cidara at a little bit less than $7 billion in equity. That's per Reuters calculation, not mine. And it involves Merck acquiring all outstanding shares of the subsidiary. The transaction is expected to close in Q1 of next year. And here's the strategic pivot that Merck's trying to get through. They're diversifying as Keytruda patients start to expire later this year. Patents, start to expire later this year, this decade, I'll get it right. So we know that, pharmaceutical patents expire, I think 10, 15 years, depends on the jurisdiction. That's a major revenue risk for the company, so they're trying to secure another name brand drug that they have exclusivity to. Since 2021, Merck's aggressively expanded its late-stage pipeline via an $11.5 billion Acceleron acquisition and the $10 billion Verona Pharma buyout. The deal continues this pattern, buying late-stage de-risked assets targeting large markets like flu, respiratory conditions. So we're not going to go through too much about the drug and how it works, and that's not the point, Joey. But what do you make of this? They're paying, Joey, 109% premium. Is that a wise move, or are they overpaying here?
Yeah, probably an overpay, 109%. You never really want to do that. As for both of these names, I'm not too familiar with them whatsoever. We can take a look at some of the technicals quick, but this is just your typical biotech name here, Sharif. This is not looking good whatsoever. $5,600, you're now trading at that, 46% off of that one there. As for Cidara, CDTX, let's see what the percentage metric is. I mean, how is the inverse of that? That's what it is, man. These things are lottery tickets, 405% from some of these lows to this high right there, so you can't complain.
And man, it's trading at 221.50.
Yeah, man.
But why is it
whoa.
Why is it
we got to go. Look at that gap
look at
up
that
there.
Gap. There you go.
There you go, 1,300%.
From
just
what?
like that, as quick as you'd like.
From what?
From $16. Oh, from the April lows,
brother. That's infuriating.
From the April lows, brother. That's our gauge, the April lows.
Oh, my God. All right, let's go on to the next story, guys. Alibaba. Now, we got another Alibaba headline. This one is a bit different. It's about tokenized payments. But let's just look at Baba. You were gone, Joey, when this happened. So here is the story. Let's bring it to you guys a little bit more detailed now. Let me see if I have the detailed story or if it's just all. Okay, here it is. Let me load this up. Assassino, sorry, I'll zoom in. There we go. So the White House National Security Memo is alleging that Alibaba has provided the Chinese military with technology support targeting U.S. interests, including access to customer data and AI-related services. This is being reported by the Financial Times. The memo claims employees shared knowledge of zero-day software vulnerabilities with the People's Liberation Army, raising broader U.S. concerns about Chinese cloud and AI capabilities. Alibaba said that the claims purportedly based on U.S. intelligence that was leaked by your source are complete nonsense. This is plainly an attempt to manipulate public opinion and malign Alibaba. So Baba coming out, and they're saying this is absolutely bogus. But, you know, we're not going to make any comments. At least I'm not, because I have no idea who's right and wrong. But that's the allegation that's being made. Baba dropped off a cliff, Joey, when you were in the bathroom right at 1 o'clock, as that was reported by the Financial Times. So that is the latest headline on Baba. But this is the headline that we got in the morning. Yeah. It's a cross-border business-to-business arm of Alibaba, which launched a new subscription product called AI Mode, and it's aiming to boost revenue with premium AI tools. So AI Mode here is going to enhance search capabilities, let users deeply compare global suppliers across pricing, logistics, production, etc. They plan to charge about $20 a month or $100 a year, though pricing is not final. They're creating also a new recurring revenue stream for their business-to-business division, B2B. It reflects, of course, their broader push to integrate their in-house LLM called Qwen across all its ecosystems. Let's talk about the tokenized payments and agentic contracts. So they're also going to launch agentic pay in December. It's going to use AI to automatically generate contracts from a buyer-supplier chat logs and previously a manual process. The company plans to adopt tokenized deposits as well, which is a digital fiat backed by the bank balance sheets in US dollars as well as euros to speed up the cross-border settlement. So I kind of like that because that kind of tries to forego the forex tailwind or headwind.
Yeah, that's the whole, I think, aspect of these tokens, these stable coins, I guess, there at the end of the day. No, but I think it's just the way that they're monetizing AI, Sharif, at the end of the day. Charge the subscription, bringing a little bit of more revenue there. So not too bad whatsoever, $100 a year. They'll most likely pay for that. It's not overly expensive whatsoever. But as for Alibaba, guys, the April lows, this is January, July, let's find them. It's not the same as some of the ADRs. Wednesday, April 9th, you are currently sitting up 60%. And at those peaks, guys, you're up 96% from those April lows. Let's not beat around the bush. I'm pretty sure Masayoshi's son had an early stint in Alibaba that didn't go too well from a shareholder standpoint. But this thing, it's still a ways away off of that previous all-time high of $318, like the dramatic pause, 51% off of those levels. Do you think it ever gets back to there?
Man, that's hard, bro. That's hard. I remember those COVID highs. I remember that Berkshire and, may he rest in peace, Charlie Munger they were buying at those levels, man.
Up here?
Yeah, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they liked Baba.
They liked it, eh?
They liked it.
Damn.
Oh, Howard dropping 5 in the chat. My man Howard, invest in Chinese ADRs that aren't even ownership. Baba at your own peril. Yes, of course, we understand the concept of American depository receipts. You are absolutely right in saying that. You can own it, though, brother, on the Hang Seng. I think they're dual listed as well on, I think, the Shanghai Composite. I could be wrong. You'll have to double check that. But you can own the shares directly. Like if you have a platform like Joey and I's, you can own anything anywhere in the world, essentially, on any market, for the most part. Joey, let's go on to the next story. So Under Armour and Steph Curry, it is over after the lucky number 13 years. Let's talk about the story. Under Armour and Stephen Curry are abruptly ending their 13-year partnership effective immediately. Curry becomes fully independent with retaining 100% ownership, though, and he's free to seek a new retail or footwear partner. Under Armour will still release one final sneaker, the Curry 13, in February, marking the end of their collaboration. Pardon me. Both sides frame the split as the right moment for independence and internal focus, though the timing raises question given, of course, Under Armour's current challenges. So what are those challenges? Well, they've been under a lot of pressure and they're looking to restructure. So Under Armour expanded its restructuring plan to $255 million that they want to cut up from 95, including costs, of course, tied to Stephen Curry, contract terminations as well as severance. The basketball divisions, including the Curry brand, is expected to generate about 100 to 120 million in full year revenue, but Under Armour says the split won't materially impact the financials. They've seen 8 straight quarters, Under Armour that is, 8 straight quarters of declining sales, and they continue dealing with the leadership instability at the company, with the CEO, the current one anyway, Kevin Plank, saying he's trying to reposition Under Armour as a premium brand, kind of taking that Nike twist a little bit amid weaker consumer apparel demand, Joey, and rising competition from On, Hoka, and others. But why does this split raise eyebrows? Well, Curry's been at UA. Curry has been Under Armour's most important asset for like nearly a decade, mentioned consistently in earnings calls since the company's been talking about him since 2016. But in last week's call, there was no mention at all of Curry, despite Under Armour spotlighting opportunities in football and a renewed push in basketball without him. The breakup eliminates a key pillar, and the Curry brand launched in 2020, and he signed a long-term extension in 2023. And so that's kind of look there. What do you take of this, Joey?
I think it's interesting. So essentially, it's going to be a blank check for Steph Curry with whatever apparel he goes to. But this is what we were talking about, just some of these athleisure names. I remember Under Armour guys, they were getting into a lot of things, the drinks now as well, too. So the beverages. I'm pretty sure like men's health as well too, like body wash and everything along those lines. But that's the issue with this. This stock price is down 90% since inception. And it's never, ever gained any form of a bid. So, I mean, obviously with Steph Curry and his deal, shares were involved. I shouldn't say obviously, I'm assuming so. And that's not a good look because at no point throughout this stock's life has it gained any ground outside of that IPO. So, yeah, it's not too good of a look. I think it's a great idea from Steph Curry, a great move, a great business move, just due to the fact that he can go anywhere he wants to, and it's a blank check for that guy. So he's just going to rake in more cash than what he already does in the NBA. So watch out for who he signs with next. Is it going to be Nike? Is it going to be Reebok? Is it going to be New Balance? I think it's whoever has the biggest numbers, and he's going to be like, hey, if I want this, a lot of individuals are most definitely going to offer him what they want. And who can is the real question. I think the likes of Nike is definitely going to be one of the front runners. So, exactly, tend to see hunters. But no, as for everything else, guys, TSLL, there it goes. We finally get the breakdown in the overall market here as we're slowly starting to slide. And we got that upside down frown that I was talking about, right? So you get the consolidation, things starting to slowly curl over here. Let's see if buyers step right back in. I know I was talking about, hey, this is going to be a really, really tough market to short, but you still have some names like AMAT that aren't just giving up any form of the move whatsoever. And then if you go and take a look at NVDA and AMD and see what those lads are up to. Slow curl over. I mean, this can definitely be bought back up, but you did have to wait until until all this buying started to cool off, and then you can get involved there. So bang, there goes Tesla, putting in an additional low, guys. So we'll take a little bit more off as we're continuing to come back in. Oh, there we go. We caught that one, so not too bad whatsoever. If there's anything in particular that you guys are looking for, please let me know. So Amazon already back at VWAP, says Gorev. Yeah, let's take a look at AMZN. Okay, so pretty good look on Amazon. Oh, yeah, so yeah, there it is. So that curl over, wow, look at this. Did you short up here? This is the print that you want. That's isolated. And then sure enough, you have enough buying pressure in a key zone as well, too. Look where that's rejecting yesterday's post-market highs. That's absolutely beautiful. So 2 indecision prints, like I'm going to call this the double fang right here. So nice buying pressure, nice buying pressure. And then sure enough, once that support level is broken, and that's what I'm talking about in a lot of these names, when you have that upside down smile, the frown, and then those levels are being broken, Sure enough, you get to continue a little bit lower. So Amazon, not too bad whatsoever, and then Tesla also on the move down as well too. So not too bad. Who do you think Steph Curry essentially signs with, Sharif? I said it's a blank check for him. Essentially, it's a.
You know what, Joey? I don't want to say Nike.
Yeah.
I don't.
You want to say it.
I want to say one of those newer ones.
Like New Balance.
Something like that. Like I don't know, man. I don't know, like on Hoka, one of those. I don't know if that's down there.
But do you think they got that type of money to be throwing?
They're blowing up.
Yeah,
they're blowing up.
But you know his deal is going to be absolutely through the roof, right? Like
sure.
if Nike signs with Steph Curry, those shoes are going to go insane. They're going to be
like Nike seems to me like the first and most obvious,
right?
Yeah. Which is kind of why I'm saying maybe not. But don't forget, man, Roger Federer is front and center at On, right?
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. I mean, yeah, that's a pretty drink. New Balance, I said New Balance.
Shoes on.
I mean, hey,
yeah, look, who knows, man?
Yeah.
But he's a free agent.
Adidas is another one. Yeah.
He's a free shoe agent now.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll see where he lands.
It's a blank check for me. I'm not gonna. You're not gonna change my mind about that whatsoever.
Yeah, they can start. Says Fat Fig. I agree completely. Nike says Ichiro. Yeah, man. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, New Balance has Otani. They had Kawhi Leonard. I don't know if Kawhi's still signed with them.
Is Kawhi still with New Balance, Neil?
Yeah, I think he's.
Yeah. Probably.
That was probably the worst decision ever.
The New Balance deal?
No, Kawhi going to LA.
Well, you heard about what Bomber did, right? It's accusations, of course.
What did he do?
Oh, you don't know?
No.
Oh, let me tell you.
What?
Okay, these are accusations.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about we're not saying that they're true or false.
See, Bomber, the owner of the Clips, right?
Okay. The former CEO of Microsoft, of course. So it's alleged that to get Kawhi to leave Toronto and go to the Clippers, what they did was they created a nonprofit or a charitable. I forget. It's either nonprofit or charitable. They're not the same. And it was supposed to be to build houses or something like that. But they put a clause in the articles of incorporation of that nonprofit or charity that said if that company or whatever went bankrupt, then Kawhi would be paid by the company a tune of like $26 or $30 million, something like that. I'm not remembering the numbers.
Yeah.
Lo and behold,
it goes bankrupt.
It didn't do anything, and then it went bankrupt, and he got his money. Those are the allegations. Whether they're true or not is a different story.
Yeah.
Right. So, and let me tell you something else: that this form of method to get players to come is not unknown.
Yeah.
Roman Abramovich, he's the former owner of Chelsea, is accused of doing this over and over and over again. That's why the new American owners, when they bought Chelsea, they willingly submitted to an investigation by the Prem. They're like, investigate, because we're not responsible.
Clean it up.
Tell us how much we owe, what the fine is, we'll pay it, and we'll move on, and we'll put it behind us. So apparently this is being done a lot.
Yeah, wow. I mean, sure enough, and then they also made some ridiculous moves from a general manager standpoint, just giving away everything for Paul George, essentially, which was horrible. So, I mean, karma came and bit him in the butt because he's done nothing ever since. Leave a championship team is ridiculous.
All right, let's go on to the next story, Joey. StubHub's first IPO, post-IPO earnings hit the stock very hard. Let's talk about this. Let's see where it is right now. Stub, where are we at, Stub? We're down 24 1/3, so I don't mean to laugh. StubHub shares collapsed more than 20% after hours. I mentioned now 24 1/3. In its first significant move since the September IPO, it reported a loss per share of an eye-watering minus $4.20. The company is saying, though, it was heavily impacted by a one-time $1.4 billion stock-based compensation that was directly tied to the IPO. Revenue came in at about $468.1 million, beating the $452 expected and increasing 8% year over year. But the net loss, that's what everyone wants to talk about. It ballooned to $1.33 billion compared to the almost $46 million, that's it, that they lost a year ago. The company is saying it is almost entirely due to the IPO-related accounting hit. So we'll have to see if it's a one-off item or whether it repeats again next earnings report. CEO Eric Baker said StubHub will not provide guidance in Q4. Another reason the stock sold off, citing what he says is variable ticket sale timing and unpredictable release cycles. Management is taking what he calls the long-term approach, with the first forward outlook set to be delivered in 2026. for the Q4 results. He also emphasized that live event demand remains extremely strong, with gross merchandise sales rising 11% year over year to 2.43 billion. But listen to this, Joey.
Yeah.
If they excluded Taylor Swift's Era Tours, which inflated the comps last year, the gross merchandise sales up 24% year over year.
That's crazy.
Shout out to Taylor.
Yeah, shout
what do
out
you got,
to Taylor,
Joey?
man. She's just booming the economy in every single way possibly. I think it's interesting to know because obviously with the games, a lot of the sporting events, it's reliant on the consumer. If that's starting to weaken, then watch out what we got going on. I mean, it's a disaster to get tickets here in Toronto, but what about the smaller markets where you're not selling as many games? I understand the fact that, like, hey, in the MLB, there's still so many, but if you look at some of the regular season games, not everything is a complete sellout like it is here in the city. So I think that has to be taken into consideration. Obviously, all the events as well, too. But we'll take a look at some of the technicals here in StubHub. Oh my days! Yeah, this is not good whatsoever.
See that bull flag, that bear flag breakdown?
Yeah, exactly.
That broke down.
You're down 50% at that level. Will this name rebound? Maybe, possibly. I don't know. What can you do for the pipeline? Like, I think it's just so one-dimensional. Pardon me?
It's not in your hands.
Exactly.
Either their concerts or not.
Concerts
right?
are not, right? Like gaming events as well too. So like
buying power, the consumers tapping
well, that's
out
what
now,
I'm
Joey.
saying. Like the consumer's getting weaker. What's going on? You're going to have and think about it in weaker markets as well too. So you have the smaller markets where that many people aren't engaged. What happens when those start to cool off? The bigger markets like Toronto, New York, the LAs probably typically tend to stay hot.
Sure.
But you have to think about everything else around there.
Fair enough. Let's go on, Joey. Jeffrey turns bullish on Gap. I'm going to skip this one. This one I feel is really important because Micron is up 6% today with no news. And there is a reason we're up bigly on Micron. It's because Samsung is hiking memory prices as AI data center demand explodes. And wait till you hear how much they're hiking it by. Samsung has raised prices on key DDR5 memory modules by up to 60% versus their September prices, according, of course, to industry sources. Contract pricing for the 32 gigabyte DDR5 jumped from $149 to $239, a steep increase driven by extreme demand from AI data center builds. The price for 16 gigabytes and 128 gigabyte DDR5 rose about 50%, while the 64 and the 96 jumped about 30%. So they're not all equally jumping as much. Samsung delayed October pricing announcements, a sign that they were preparing for an aggressive hike amid, of course, tightening supply. But this is something we've seen before, guys. We see a glut of inventory with memory, with HBM, and then we see not enough of it. There seems to be extremes both ways here when it comes to high bandwidth memory. Let's continue to give you more context here. The global hyperscalers, as we know, your Amazons, your Metas, your Googles, and server builders as well, like your SMCIs and your Dells are accepting they won't get anywhere near the memory volume they need, triggering panic buying. What does panic buying do, Joey? Rockets the price. Fusion Worldwide notes that premiums are being paid are extreme levels as firms rush to secure DDR5 supply for AI training clusters. The shortage is spilling into the broader tech. We're talking about smartphones, PCs, consumer electronics, all facing rising component costs as DDR5 supply is diverted to server-grade needs. They're obviously prioritizing the data center clients because they pay more money than B2C. B2B, obviously, a lot higher of revenue, Joey. So I'll just give you the chart on MU, my man.
Yeah.
Look at that chart on MU. And by the way, MU up 200% on the year.
Yeah, MU has been absolutely phenomenal. Sorry, headache just rocking right now. So MU, guys.
Pac-Man.
Shout out Pac-Man. Oh yeah, Pac-Man LV. We'll get over to that super chat. I mean, I don't even want to give you guys the percentage metric from those April lows because you might get FOMO or something along those lines because I know I definitely have it. Guess, Sharif.
Yes,
from
sir.
the April lows. Oh, you seen it?
Oh no, I didn't see it. I swear to God, I didn't see it.
Okay, from the April lows.
Man, I don't know, man. Okay, so we're up 200% on the year, Joey, right? So let's say they drop 50%. I'm going to say 250.
325.
325.
What
crazy.
the hell?
That's
Get
crazy.
out of here, man. It's crazy, man.
Flex my guns, brother. The Baba news, we brought it to you earlier. The U.S. government is accusing Alibaba of basically giving the Chinese military information on American customers as well as helping them in other ways. That is the allegations being made by the Financial Times. Baba has already responded to the report by the Times. They've denied it. They're calling it nonsensical. Alibaba is the one that's being accused by the Financial Times, and they're saying they got a hold of a memo by a U.S. government official there. So that is the headline there. Who was that again? Flex my guns. Shout out to Flex my guns.
Did you have more on that?
No, go ahead, Joey.
Pac-Man super chat.
In there, yeah.
I'm from Tozia and David from Poland. Okay, all right. I don't quite understand what that
They're saying greetings, brother.
Oh, okay,
greetings. They're saying hello.
Greetings. All right. Greetings from I'm Tozia and David from Poland.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
All right, there we go. No, it's not you. That's all right.
Greetings, my brother.
Yeah,
Thank you for joining us. You know, Joseph and I on every day, 11 to 2. I don't know if you're a newer viewer or not, but thank you for joining us nonetheless.
Yeah, very much.
I love to see people from other countries, bro.
Pac-Man, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Pac-Man.
LV, Louis Vuitton.
Louis Vuitton. All right.
Go ahead,
Joey.
Tesla
ahead,
here.
Joey.
There we go, guys. Continuously breaking down, guys. We had to sit in this one. Definitely a slow burner, but we ran into some key resistance zones. We'll take a little bit more off there as we're piecing through those key support levels in which we were.
The heat is pumping again. That's not good.
All right, we got to fix the heat over there. We got that fill. So there it goes, guys. TSLL. I thought it was a little warm in here. I thought it was just me because I have a smoking headache, and I'm like, man, might have to take this vest off, but sure feeling it as well too. So there it is, TSLL, another piece out there, guys. And then as for the QBTS, oh my eyes, man.
It's insane. 33. Do you have a thermometer on that thing?
No, it's a server rack.
That's insane.
This way we were in a t-shirt, but there goes QBTS, guys. That's why we got out of it when we were supposed to. Nice little trade there, and then we were also on AMD as well too, guys.
Joey.
Yes, sir.
Ozan, you ready? New traders, listen up. First month is absolutely free. That's right. We're waiving the fees so you can trade smarter, not harder, all by upgrading to that elite experience, which will help you analyze, strategize, and then you'll capitalize on their platform that has everything. We're talking infinite data, instant trading, and lightning fast market insights and game-changing charts. You can predict better, guys, with their backtesting tool. It's reliable. It's real-time data, and it's a global market at the tip of your fingers. It's an all-in-one platform, so do not miss out and execute your best trades now. If you're ready to elevate your trading, scan that QR code or check the link in the description. Shout out to eSignal. Let's go on to the Amazon story here. It's backing legislation limiting Nvidia's China chip sales. So Amazon is now joining Microsoft in supporting the GAIN AI Act, which is a proposed U.S. law that would force AI chip makers to prioritize domestic orders over foreign customers. Very interesting. Directly restricting Nvidia's ability to ship high-end AI chips to China, not like they're able to anyway. The bill is designed to ensure the U.S. AI capacity stays onshore, reflecting, of course, that intensifying concern by Washington about China's access to advanced compute, especially for military modernization, which they're doing plenty of. More on that in a second. There are robot dogs with rifles that are accompanying foot soldiers. I saw it on TikTok. China. It's insane.
In China,
yeah,
right?
Bro.
Yeah. We're going to get into that.
We're going to get into it. So the act is part of a broader National Defense Authorization Act, which gives it stronger political tailwinds, of course. Anthropic, they're throwing their hat into that ring as well. AI startup Anthropic is also backing the act, signaling rising industry pressure to lock down scarce compute strictly for U.S. companies. And supporters of the bill argue domestic AI firms are facing long GPU lead times, so restricting exports to help ensure U.S. cloud providers get the priority NVIDIA supplies, the right move. NVIDIA, though, they're pushing back. And of course they are. They want some of that China revenue. Why wouldn't they? They previously warned that the GAIN Act would limit global competitiveness, slow innovation abroad, and reduce available compute for non-U.S. markets. Importantly, though, NVIDIA is already adapting to U.S. export rules with China-specific chips, as we've seen with the H20, the L20, and the much delayed B30A that's supposed to be based on the Blackwell architecture, which we still haven't seen. But additional legislation, Joey, would further tighten the supply bottleneck. What is your look on this, man? This is restricting. These are American companies backing American legislation against another American company.
Do you think it's Amazon just like trying to catch up to an NVDA and like market capitalization?
Very good point, bro. I like that. I like that angle.
It's like let's slow these guys down a little bit so we can gain some ground. I think that's probably the case in what's going on. That's absurd. I can't believe that would ever happen. I understand the competitive nature, but then when you get international, you want to obliterate the opponent. So I'm surprised that Amazon.
There you go. I like that. And I should mention as well, Meta and Alphabet have not taken public positions on the act, as opposed to Amazon, of course. So President Trump has also not indicated support or opposition for the act, so we don't really know where he stands on this. Adara, give me your take on this. This is a pretty wide-ranging act here. It could restrict NVIDIA substantially.
Well, yeah, I was reading as well here that Microsoft has made a public stance on the act, but Amazon is more reported that they have a stance. I just want to clarify that as well. That's at least as far as I've seen as of this morning. Yeah, I think that this, like, you know, as you've kind of said here, Sharif, A, it's almost a moot point right now because they can't sell to China in the first place. And B, as CEO Jensen Huang of NVIDIA has repeatedly said, this is, if anything, just going to hurt American companies. And now we're even having American companies, as you guys said, saying, hey, no, American companies, you can't sell to other places because we want those sales, even though, again, you can't really sell to these places anyway. Like, it just seems like such a moot point, like almost, you know, kind of unnecessary posturing, in my opinion. We'll have to see if anything comes of this because, as you said, nothing really has even come of this as of yet, right? We don't really know where a lot of people stand on it. We only have one of these Mag 7 companies publicly taking a stance, the other one reportedly. So I think we'll need a lot more details. But either way, I think this just continues that, I guess, animosity between the U.S. and China on trade. And that Alibaba story we got as well. Again, Financial Times reporting that the White House put out a memo saying, hey, Alibaba is helping the Chinese military target the U.S. I don't think that's going to help. I don't think we get any kind of, like, even if we get a trade deal, whatever, I don't think we get any kind of true resolution between these two countries anytime soon. And I think this is more fuel for the fire.
Thank you very much for that, Adara. And that concludes the news segment, guys. Thank you for hanging out with us as we went over that. I'm just going to get to my side chart here in a second. Guys, there's some stuff going on, man. There are still small cap gappers making moves. CYPH, my best trade on the day, is looking like it's breaking trend over here as it was putting a plethora of lower highs and lower lows with this downward channel that was basically unbroken for a hot minute. And now it's been broken as we start making higher highs and higher lows. Let's see if we can close above 340. I think I might work back into this trade with substantially less size, just, you know, to keep things interesting and to get the reps, Joey, especially if I see something breaking out like this. CYPH, guys, it is up substantially on the day to the tune of 92%. It was up a little bit higher at the highs. Let's load up the CYPH. There it is. There's this bad boy right there. So I'm going to be looking at working into this. As you can see, that's what I was mentioning here. That $40, $3.40 seems to be an area high, but most notably, it is preceded by higher lows. That means accumulation into that 340 area could lead to a break, a flat top break of sorts. So we'll see whether that happens or not. Uh-oh.
It's a big one, man. It's a big one, man.
It's a big one. You want to read it, Joey?
I'd love to. I'd love to do the honor, Trader JT. Once again, we're going to hit this here just for this one here, all right? Because that's a big time one. We'll hit this for you, the best. Actually, I'm going to say it's the best. It's the best one we got going on.
Oh.
All right, guys, $100. Thank you, Canadian dollars. Not sure if you guys remember me, but I've sent a few super chats to thank you guys for everything I've learned here, especially account managing. I have a different view as you guys regarding the high level trading. I learned that it's just the same at the end of the day.
I'd love more input, but you don't have to super chat though. But give us your input though. Why do you feel that way? Just tag Joey.
Another super chat here.
Oh boy.
There's another one here. Hold on. No, we're not going to hit it again. I'm not going to hit it again. We'll do this one there.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah, he said.
That's where he's explaining it. I love it. Yeah.
I learned a lot from high level trading. And
high leverage trading.
High leverage trading, and I found I thought it was level, maybe a type of high leverage trading. And I found out that as long as you can manage your account properly, it can be as rewarding as trading stocks and options.
I love it. I love it. What my concern is, though, like these are prohibitively large leverage, like 300%, 250%. You know, just a move like of $1 or $2, $10 on Bitcoin. I don't know how much, depending on your size, of course, gets you liquidated. That's what kind of concerns me. And me, as an observer, you know, I don't like the instability. Obviously, I want this thing to be a little bit more, a little less correlated than the.
Absolutely, man.
We got to go to Adair though. She's got breaking news.
Talk more, but I want to get in the drone.
SRPT getting its 2 largest volume candles of the day by far on this 15-minute chart. As we get reports suggesting that the FDA or the Federal Drug Administration here, or the food, whatever, the FDA here, Food and Drug Administration in the U.S., they've approved new safety warnings and revised indication that limits the use of Elevidys following reports of fatal liver injury. Now, what is Elevidys? This is that drug that SRPT had made here for Duchenne muscular dystrophy. There have been some reports that it's caused death, and they've had a lot of issues with those trials. Either way here, SRPT on watch, FDA approving a safety warning and revised indication limiting the use of that drug from the company. Back to you.
LJS with a vest over a hoodie. That's a bold strategy, Cotton. Hopefully, Selena buys him one of those Snuggie blankets for Christmas. And we know, you told us, Selena's very, very pro-Christmas because, tell them why.
Because all the gear's already up, man.
I love it.
I like it. I like it, man. It's
like
festive,
it too.
you know what I mean? It's festive.
Shout out, man.
Listen.
Shout out, man.
Listen, big smile, my friend.
Thank you for the super
You were
chat.
sick the other day, my brother, and I know what you were doing, curled up in a ball at home.
Oh, Joey's coming back.
Letting your wife nurture you while you sit there. Oh, I want to see what Sharif and Joe are up to. I don't feel good, so let me be nice to them. So they're nice to me. Get out of here with that stuff. But no, in all seriousness, Sharif, we want to talk about the robot arm. Oh, we got Mike Peter Ryder. He gave us a little Trader TV. Number 1.
Oh, we love you, Mike. Oh no, it's Nathan Pena from Houston.
Shit, this is crazy.
Here you go, guys. This is like 300 Canadian dollars. Just crapping on the snow peso, eh?
The disrespect, Nathan.
The disrespect for our Canadian money, man.
No, man.
Where are we at right now, Joey?
Where
are we at right now?
Where? Oh,
USD.
At the
You want to know, Joey? You don't want to know.
Yeah, I want to know the snow peso. That's all right. We'll take snow peso, baby.
No.
Hey, man. We love the snow. We love the good old snow peso. Hopefully, it will start to grind back eventually. Triple hands with the slap back.
Ram. What does that 40 mean, Ram? What's an answer, bro?
40. I mean, I think she was saying it 40, 140 there. Huh? So in all seriousness, okay, so we were, to go back to your robot army and what you're talking about the dogs and everything.
You want to see the video?
Yeah, so Wainers and I were talking last night. Whoa, we got another one.
Oh.
That's crazy.
What is going on here, man? This guy's dropping cash. That's $250 or 200, whatever it was, $220.
Man, we rich now. All right, you want to do the honors of this one?
Yeah, I'm going to read this one if you don't mind. Yeah. I want to thank you guys for what I learned. And this is not to promote high leverage trading, just saying if you understand it and can manage your account well enough, it can be rewarding. I've made over $40,000 just this past month alone using these high leverage trading. Brother, I respect what you're saying. You're clearly not trying to sell us anything. So, you know, I definitely, I believe in the veracity of what you're saying. And I don't disagree with you. All I'm saying is not everybody is going to be as good as you and as, you know, as well-timed as you, and as a result, you know, some people go gung-ho, and that affects Joseph and I because then they get leveraged, liquidated position.
Yeah, and we don't want
that. And it
that.
drops it bigly. What's going on, Randy? How are you, brother?
But to give him credit, like if he hit it right on the head, right? If you manage the account correctly, if you're a proper risk manager, then again, I'm not going to compare it to options or anything, even though you did. There's limited downside in options buying, right? You have to take that into consideration, opposed to the high leverage, which it seems that you've made a substantial amount of money over the past month. You know how to mitigate your risk. Some individuals aren't as well versed as you, and thank you for pointing that out, because I'm sure that you're going to give the ability to help multiple people in the chat who are looking to do those things. So fantastic work. And then Mike P. DeRider, did you give us another one there?
He did.
Weekends are boring.
I love this guy, bro.
Yeah, weekends are boring with those.
What a kind guy, bro. Always there, man.
Yeah.
Always looking, help the channel.
Oh, this guy had me
bro.
cracking up yesterday.
What did he say?
Oh, you have no idea. And I was laughing about it. It made me chuckle this morning.
Okay.
So I'm in the chat after, right? It's like 3 o'clock, 3:30. The guy sends a message, and then instantly after, it's like another 3-sentence message. And I'm like, bro, how are you typing so fast?
How does he type?
He's like, brother, I'm preloading the messages and then sending them. So I'm like, bro, this guy's preloading chats and then sending them. He's strategic, man. The man knows what he's doing, but he had me. I'm like, dude, the preloads are crazy. Like, I never even thought of preloading a message. I never thought to do that. And then that's why he has the ability to rapid fire some of them. So he's the only individual in the chat who we will allow to send 15 consecutive messages.
Because he's not trying to sell anything either. He's not trying to push a stock on us. That's not what he does. He's just a lethal guy, man.
The preloads are crazy, man.
He's a time traveler. All right, my man.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I've weaseled into CYPH here as we got 8 minutes left on the show. I got in at, initially I got in at 28s, added at 23, wet the beak up into 33s. I'm waiting at 35s. 38. The reason I'm liking CYPH right now is that for the exact same reason I made before. I saw a downward channel that was broken eventually by around, what time was that? At around 120, 125. We kind of break through this downward channel. Now we're holding the 10 EMA on the 5 as support from the top side. Eventually, though, I'm looking for a break above 340, so I'm trying to build the position for that 340 break with the ultimate high, of course, being that 355. So there we go, right back up into 34s now. I'm waiting at 35. It's at 35 right now, but not crossing, so we'll have to pack the patience there. CYPH, the ticker I'm talking about, guys. Good small cap gapper, up 90% on the day. Let's see if we can get that price spike up, Joey, into 340s. Probably behooves me to throw more orders above 40 as well in case it does price spike up there. These ones are around for a good time, and they don't typically spend too much time at any one price level. So make sure to catch it while it's there. Joseph Options, using your resting orders.
Great stuff there, brother. All right, let's go over a little bit of a trade review. 3 names on the day. AMD. Oh, whoa, I got my voice message on here, and I'm sending it to the chat there. How do I stop this thing? It's chaotic.
I don't know, Joey.
All right, now since there's a drop there. But no, in all seriousness, guys, let's take a look at advanced micro devices and go over on what we traded today. Again, here it goes. That pullback getting bought back up immediately right away. So there it goes, a nice flush in AMD right out of the gate. I see us head towards some of those pre-market lows. The momentum to the downside, we want to participate on that from 283 all the way down to 235. Or did I say 83? 238 to 235. And then we take another trade from 246 all the way to a low of around 245. We take one more attempt. That doesn't work out, but we shoot 66% on AMD. Now, as for TSLA, because we're on the Nasdaq, that's what we're currently sitting on. I have like a fraction of a percent here, just leaving it for a runner and for the dream. But you had to sit in this trade for quite some time. I mean, we're in this at 11:47, and we didn't get our outs until around 2 hours later. All right, so take that into consideration. And then we are last but not least, QBTS. That is going to be D-Wave. And then we got the continuation on the bull flag long to the top side. And then sure enough, right at the high of the day, as soon as we failed to establish a new one or just slightly constructed one and rejected aggressively via telling through the tape, we get all out of that trade, Sharif.
All right, Joey, still holding on to here. CYPH zagging up into 29. It goes. Looking at taking out some profits here, guys. I like the way that this is looking, but it's 3 lower highs in a row, preceded by a topping tail candle. That doesn't look very good, despite the fact that it defended the 10 EMA on the 5, didn't close below, didn't even wick below. But that is not why I'm involved in this. I'm not just involved with it because it's holding above the 10 EMA. I need this to break above 40. There it goes. Okay, so it takes a whole bunch of my orders now showing 31s. Let's see if we get that continuation price spike into next 33s, then 38s, then 42s, and then 45s, ultimately keeping an eye on that. Trader JT, Sharif, I totally agree. It's more risky and volatile. Please do not use high leverage trading unless you learned about it and can manage account well enough. Spoken like a true professional. I really like how you said everything there, man. from the first message to the second message to the last message. It was all well said. You're clearly not trying to sell us anything, and you're clearly not trying to force your opinion on anybody, and I do appreciate that about you. Thank you very much, Trader GJT, for the input there. And yeah, I think, you know, like you see me sometimes trading inverse leverage ETFs are they're 2 times 200%.
Yep.
Right? But we're still managing risk on them like we would any other trade, Joey. Right?
Absolutely, yeah. It doesn't change. It doesn't change, man. No. It doesn't change. You always want to. You don't have a trade if you don't have an out.
No.
So at the end of the day,
exactly.
Yeah. So if you don't know where you're officially wrong, then you don't have a trade, man.
No, man.
Yeah, so
CYCU guys is rocketing back up into the high side. Where's my CYCU chart, man? We don't have one, Joey. So that's going to be a bit of a problem there. We're going to have to load one up. CKTB looking real good here too, guy. But
Bitcoin is just getting rocked,
eh? Right back up into $6, guys, is CYCU. In fact, this 5-minute candle has a high of 6 mid-teens. Be on the lookout here. We got a bit of a bull flag happening on the 5-minute on CYCU. Shout out to Ozan. Shout out to what's his name? Buvin. Sorry, Buvin. Shout out to Casey. Shout out to everybody who's been trading this one. You guys have been printing up multiple storms, and thank you for push our what's it called? Paying it forward, Casey, for the 10 premium memberships. Thank you very much. Always super classy. KC526. We do appreciate you there. Look at her. Yeah, there she is on the chat
Casey,
with the money. I like
you
it.
got the cash.
So that's what I'm keeping my eyes on, guys. CYPH, we're still holding this one for higher lows and a 340 break, but I'm also keeping my eye on CYCU as I perceive this one to be bull flagging as well. I also want to mention CTKB up 23.5%, and it's at the day high right now, up to 564, Joe.
Mike P, you don't got to wait till 4 a.m. Monday morning, brother. 8 p.m. Sunday night is when you can get rocking and rolling on Blue Ocean, my friend. So we got to read this one out here, Sharif. I've seen Derek in the chat a lot here. OK State, Derek Blakely, Sharif and Joseph, I love the show, guys. I've been listening every day for over a year.
Love
Wednesday
you, man.
around 1 o'clock. Thought I was having a heart attack and called 911, still in the hospital listening on the app.
You're kidding. Are you okay?
Brother.
What's happening?
We're going to be here every day of the week.
day.
Make sure you take your health as serious, and your dedication to watching Trader TV
Thank you
is,
for watching.
again, at this point, it's second to none. Because, obviously we hope nothing but the best for you at the end of the day. Hope everything is good.
I hope it's just like, something real minor there.
Yeah,
hopefully
exactly.
some gas or something like that, not real heart issues. We hope you get better and, definitely keep us apprised of what's going on.
Yeah, man.
Love to hear from you. Again, just tag Joseph or I, obviously. We'll always see the tag there.
This guy, Adam James,
Adam
brother.
James?
Buenas tardes, amigos. ¿Qué tal? I'm good, brother. How about you? ¿Cómo estás usted hoy, mi amigo?
Hey.
I hope you are doing well. These super chats are too positive, down 80K on one. Sorry, it's not funny. Listen, no, but I think there's some more dual individuals being sarcastic. I hope I caught your sarcasm because, listen, Katina Man and I were talking not too long ago, like off of these highs, guys, you're down 80K. I mean, I'm down a quarter of that, a little bit more. So 25K out of the account. See you later.
See ya.
Yeah, see you later. That's never coming back. So, I mean, it will gain back, but you never get that 25K in which you lost unless you sold at those highs. So 80K, that sucks, man. But there's a lot of individuals in the same boat. Keep on pushing. This is what I said to 2NY yesterday, Sharif.
Yes, sir.
Fear. Face everything and rise.
Bang.
And that's it.
Absolutely.
Shut it off. Go over there. I'm just leaving it at that. It's 2 o'clock.
Oh, hold on. No, we got more.
Oh, we got one more.
Evan, okay, first of all, I'm going to read Evan's chat, but here the breakout is on now, guys, on CYPH. There goes 40. It's a 45 high. What do we have on? We have 24s on. We still have that 45 print that didn't print because it didn't cross. Watch out, though, for the topping tails. We've been preceded by 2 topping tail candles, despite the fact that this candle did break highs. Look at it manifest now, almost as an inverse hammer candle, despite the fact that it's still green. So CYPH is a bit of a bamboozler. It's got a good trend, but expect volatility on the way up. Separately, Evan Ballin. Oh, got to flatten out that. Evan Ballin. Love the show and you guys' energy. You two are very entertaining. I want to get into trading but don't know where to start. Any tips or tools that I can use? Absolutely. Okay, so there's plenty of stuff we can do. First things first, we got to tell you, Assassino, we got to tell them about Trader TV Academy. It is coming up very, very soon and we're super excited about it. It is exactly that sort of educational content that you're asking about, and it's all going to be made in-house here. It's not out yet. Stay tuned for that though. Trader TV Academy coming very soon. Secondly, watch Joseph and I. We're constantly talking, and Katina, man, and Neil, of course, when Ob is on, no question about it. Watch them. They're constantly explaining what they're doing, why they're getting into trades, why they're getting out. They're explaining the methodology, and along the way, you'll learn a lot about trading as well. So we hope you can join us. Stick with us. We're focused for everybody. Newer traders, experienced, intermediate, everybody. We try to do the gauntlet.
I mean, like Neil and Sean have like a combined 60 years of experience almost over there, so which is a phenomenal.
That's saying something.
Also, just like do as much reading, right? Like when you first start out, you want to read as much as you possibly can, and then also the beauty of YouTube.